You are listening to the Lucha Central Podcast Network. And now, LuchaCentral.com presents Masks, Mats, and Mayhem.
Oh, Justin's watching an episode of Kross.
That was a good one. We did that in Midtown. I should cut my hair like that,
Deep breath.
Welcome.
Willkommen.
Keep don't step on them.
This show is so hard to get started today. Do I have to start the show now?
You want me to do it?
I don't know.
Really
Can you do it? Do you know how to do it?
Welcome.
Try it. Let me see what you got.
I don't want to.
Welcome to the Delicious
What do you mean you don't want to?
Here's a minor favor. This is just outlaw. This is me.
No.
You guys are useless.
Welcome to the Masks, Mats, and Mayhem show. The other guy is your host, the Outlaw LA Red. Right above him, at Byron Fever. And to one of the sides of him is at MeFlo. If you could catch the whole show at MMMshow 75 across all social platforms.
What is
It is time.
Okay,
Tasty
let's just try it this way. Welcome to another edition of Masks, Mats, and Mayhem. I am your host, the Outlaw LA Red. You can find me on social media at JustinHarvey75. You, in fact, can find the entire show on social media at MMMshow75. That guy up there is at Byron Fever. This one right above me over here is at MeFloaf. And sadly, one of us completely lost their battles with technical things today, and that would be at Lucha Gringo. Hopefully he will pop in with a recorded video segment that maybe he'll be able to do. Today has been just a terrible day for technical difficulties. You guys won't notice this on Tuesday, but today, on Saturday, we are recording this quite later than we had planned because everything broke in my house.
Yeah.
Everything.
Casey, though, his computer isn't working, and he told us he's going door to door in his neighborhood asking for children.
Well, Casey had a power supply issue, though, so I mean, he's really jacked.
Yeah,
and he needs to get that fixed for more reasons than just this show and his other show, which records tomorrow morning. I don't even know if he'll be ready in time for that.
Can I tell you that I've gone home from work from set on a Friday and then noticed Friday evening my laptop isn't charging because there's no power cable attached or power cable in my apartment, and I realized I left it on set.
Yeah, which is why I have two.
Yeah, no, you're smart.
I have two. I keep one in my backpack to go to set with me, and then I keep one with me. Though the funny thing is, on my last show when I left Los Angeles, I left that power cord there. And of course, this is the one time where I haven't been back to LA in 8 months. So, which is another hilarious thing. My goatee used to connect over here. What happened? I don't know. It stopped connecting on one side. Anyway, listen. I am super duper actually excited about wrestling this week. I was really pleased. Lots of fun things happened this week. Super duper excited. I'm not going to let my technical difficulties get to me because there's a lot of fun stuff that I would rather be talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, kind of like this time. Why are we both together on that episode?
We were in Midtown.
Crap, that's Kross. Kross is on that one too.
That was so much fun.
I just have random old episodes kind of cycling through this is from our YouTube channel. If you want to go back into the archives, we haven't moved over some of these older episodes to Lucha Central yet. But if you search Masks, Mats, and Mayhem on YouTube, you find our stuff and the stuff on Lucha Central. But we're in New York, I think, and just hanging out with Kross. Anyway, he's one of the reasons why I'm super excited.
Yes.
This week. There's a lot of interesting news. I will get to Kross in a minute, but congratulations to Psycho Clown for being added to the Masked Republic family this week. Congratulations to Ruben and Kevin and all the fine people involved in Masked Republic on the signing of Psycho Clown.
We're related.
Psycho Clown. Meef, how do you feel about that?
I've been instructed by my lawyers not to make any comment.
I have a more important question.
Look, I don't care if Kevin signs one of my least favorite wrestlers in the world, Sting, I would be more than happy to tell Kevin he was a big giant piece of crap for doing it.
I have a question.
I don't mind because I might actually finally get my hair versus mask match with him.
Should I cut my hair short, like in the video, over your shoulder for the audio listeners only? Just imagine I'm looking really handsome with a short haircut that's super stylish.
Yeah, when you were living in New York, I have to say, pre-COVID New York Byron was a little more handsome.
Okay.
Byron Suave.
No, that's meant as an insult.
How was that an insult? I actually say something nice about you for like the first time since the 90s, and I didn't even know you back then. So basically ever, and then you think that I'm making fun of you.
You're not saying objectively something was good. You're saying that relative to now, it was better.
Okay.
True.
Right.
Fair enough.
Right.
Saw through that bit.
So in our tasty treats of news this week, what do I got here? Oh, Steve Cutler and Lars Sullivan were both released.
Yeah.
Okay.
The wrong forgotten son.
I think I'm okay with that, right?
I mean, the other guy, I don't like his politics, and he's kind of been dumb about it when people were super sensitive about those things. But also, people who knew him, even like Mick Foley, people who knew him and worked with him, did say nice things about him. And
nice things about who? Steve Cutler?
Jackson Riker, spelled with 3 Ks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. They're giving him a shot. I guess give him a shot because they think they can make money off of him. Cutler, though, I totally get why they fired him because he had a super spreader holiday party and got COVID. And like you're promising stars like Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan that you're going to make a safe environment for them. Mm-hmm. And then you have this guy who his whole paycheck probably isn't the merch paycheck those two guys get,
Yeah.
Like ruining that. It's just a liability. And
but here's the other thing too. WWE uses moments like that as an excuse to get rid of you, but it also means that they pretty much wanted to get rid of you anyway. Mm-hmm. Like if you were somebody that was worth money to them and worth a damn to them, they would keep you around even with a big
Speaking guffaw. Of which, Katy Cantanzarro, whatever her name is.
What? Cantanzarro?
Are we going to wait till the wall of shame?
Oh, yeah. Look, we can fire her up right now. Why?
She can't wrestle. She stamps on people's heads. She went to a super spreader party twice already. She had a birthday party, and now she's hanging out, having drinks with I think pre-Super Bowl thing with a person who was at the Trump rally in January. Well,
but is that really a reason to cancel her and put her on the wall?
No, she's literally hanging out, no masks, at a party and Instagramming her and her friends.
I mean, you gotta be.
And so here's where I think it's wrong.
Net.
I get it. See, and here's part of the problem. In the United States, wearing a mask or not wearing a mask has become a political issue. That's not really the case in any other country.
Yeah.
There's not one political party that supports a little bit. Conservatives there have an issue with masks?
Well, the conservatives, you see, believe in eugenics. So their idea is that if we kill off poor people and old people, that
but then they're the ones not wearing the masks. So how does that make sense?
But just you got to remember that the conservatives are rich white people who think their genetics make them better than people.
Oh, I got you.
So they
we've got a little bit of that here.
But also on the other spectrum of that, hippies. Hippies are here seem to think that they can not wear a mask.
See, that's not the problem in the States, man. All the hippies, they have like their tie-dye flower power, save the teddy bears. Whatever.
Oh, no, they think it's the government trying to oppress them. And so
they're all cloth masks made out of hip.
We've got the hippies being the right-wing people. Yeah, that's the hilarious part.
So your country is as bizarre as ours. I can't say it's so weird and ours isn't because ours is a hot mess of weirdness.
No, yours is definitely the worst.
Same thing. We just have better dental care.
Okay, but so here's what I'll say about Katy Cantanzarro. I'm going to approve Katy Cantanzarro for the Wall of Shame, but I'm not going to do it because she's an anti-masker. I feel that people are entitled to their different opinions. And yes,
that with pedophiles?
And yeah, maybe, but it's not necessarily proven 100%. And also, if she's a Trump supporter, that's fine. I have friends that are Trump supporters. Yeah, you know, like they have a black friend, I have a Trump friend, whatever. It's fine. I'm going to put her on the Wall of Shame because I don't understand what the fuck that crazy flippy thing of death is that she tries to finish matches with. What is that
she
garbage?
She should not be allowed to do it whatsoever until she can decide what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to land on her feet and then
look. I'm gonna find my
like drop somebody.
My notes from NXT this week because. Yeah. And I'm jumping the gun a little bit on this. In the Women's Dusty Cup, it was Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Caden Carter and Katy Cantanzarro.
How much does the Women's Dusty's Cup not matter, though?
But it's matches like this that make it not matter.
Yeah.
Look, I get that they want to make it fast and furious, but these ladies have to slow down. They need to slow down and do it well first. There were so many small botches in this match, so many, and almost all of them were from Caden and Casey.
Yeah, well, Caden, I think is dope and has some experience, but she's still sloppy in the ring to an extent.
I think Katy Cantanzarro's dope in a lot of ways. She's got a great story, and she's this tiny little thing.
Yeah, but I think all of that's great, but up until like a couple weeks ago, she's been nothing in the ring. She doesn't look like she would actually hurt anyone. And now she's a luchador.
Now she looks like she could murder somebody.
but here's the thing. Here's the thing with Katy Cantanzarro. You know who else looks like nothing and looks like they couldn't hurt anyone in the ring?
Ricochet.
Leon Ruff.
He knows how to wrestle.
Right. So Casey needs to show that she knows how to wrestle. She needs to be doing crisp, clean moves. When you are that person,
does she know how
sloppy
to wrestle,
like that.
Or does she just know how to be a gymnast?
Leon Ruff didn't know how to wrestle at one point, and he does now. Learn your craft.
Leon, I mean, I'd rather talk about Leon Ruff because I think Cantanzarro is going to give her. I mean, and I appreciate her finish more than you guys, but I mean, she's definitely going to give her whiplash and have another neck injury and be out of the industry in a short time. I don't think it's worth talking too much about her. Leon Ruff, though, I think it's so great.
Yeah, but she keeps on going to the COVID parties and getting COVID and being out.
But here's the thing. So I would love to see both of those ladies, Casey Cantanzarro and Caden Carter. I would like to see them wrestling Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan because they're at about the same level to me. Tasha and Kiera have holes in their game. There's nothing they can do about it right now except to just wrestle more. And I like that they're getting a push in Impact. I think they're great characters. I think they have their ring thing down. I like that they put them in matching gear now and that they have like a team. They're Fire and Ice or Flava or whatever the hell they're called. Like make them an actual team. Here's the thing that everybody needs to understand. Tag wrestling is new for women. Real tag wrestling like this. It's just a newer thing. It hasn't been going on for ages. And the other thing that people need to look at is the ages of a lot of the competitors in women's wrestling. You know, you've got the age brackets are all over the place because women aren't coming into the business the same as men. They're not growing up and saying that they want to be a wrestler their whole lives. Some of them are, and there's a few of them out there. But then when they don't go straight from high school into wrestling schools and then out on the indies and stuff like that. You know, most people are like a Katy Cantanzarro. They're coming from something else. Or they're like a Thunder Rosa that's starting in their 30s, you know, and getting a career going. And they're still athletic and great, but at the same time, it's keeping the sport from being a certain place. And then also now, they're spread out everywhere. Every promotion has, you know, 4 great women and then a lot of other women who are very green and coming up. And this is one of the reasons why I am a huge proponent of the idea that the women should be wrestling men more often. A, because I think it levels the playing field. B, because I think in a scripted storytelling world like this, just like you see in the Marvel universe, there's many female superheroes now that are just as badass as the men as there ever were men. I think you need to level the playing field, even though we know that there's differences between men and women physically that cause different athletic advantages and disadvantages depending on the sport. We know that. We get it. Suspension of disbelief, people. Get over that part. It's more sexist to not let them wrestle against each other than to let them wrestle against each other at this point. Let's get rid of the idea that one sex is better than the other in a lot of ways, because it's got to end. And it's the only way also that I think you're going to get a chance to elevate a lot of the women in the sport. Just like in MMA, the first 3 years of women's MMA, other than a few elite ones at the top and the women who had already been doing it for 10 years out on the fringes, it was really dismal for the up-and-comers. But if you look at it now, a woman who gets into MMA after 2 or 3 amateur fights could be in the UFC easily and competing at a high level, because now it's had enough time to cycle. Women's wrestling, even though there have been women in wrestling for a long time, it's really catching on now. It needs 2 or 3 years, but also you got to be careful with how you're booking it. And on the WWE level, Caden and Casey look terrible. They are Impact level wrestlers right now. And that's not to say that Impact isn't a premium show, but in the women's division, it isn't at all, and hasn't been, other than a few talents that have run through there. And Kira and Tasha are the same level to me as Caden and Casey. Period. Am I crazy?
I think you're right. But I do think that TNA/Impact should have the reputation. They should be known for having one of the better women's divisions, at least for periods of time. There was a time when they were bar none the best.
Yeah, but now they're decimated. They're decimated, and there's too much competition out there. And
they have people come and go quite frequently.
They're like a minor league hockey. Yeah, they're like a minor league hockey team. There's a cycle of they get a group of people, build them into a good roster, and with enough success, the good people leave.
Look, I think that tag wrestling should be a big part of women's wrestling. I think it's a good style of storytelling for a lot of the women's divisions. And if you look at Ivelisse and Diamante, what they're doing, they've learned how to wrestle like a tag team. They are like female FTR. Like, they go in there, they do classic things, they tag in and out at the right times. They're always paying attention to their tag structure. They're paying attention to who should do the spots. They know how to do a hot tag. Yeah. They know how to do tag wrestling. And there is an art to it. Like, WWE is partially responsible for ruining it by always throwing these weird singles competitors together in tag teams and whatnot. It's like, just because they've been in a tag team before doesn't mean that they are tag team wrestlers. There are teams out there that know how to be tag team wrestlers, know the art of it, and there is a certain type of storytelling to it. And then there's other people that are thrown together as a tag team, and it's not as good. In women's wrestling, I'd like to see more of this continue. I think that the Women's Dusty Cup is important, but God, please, like, honestly, Caden and Casey that match could have been fine, but they needed to slow it down. Slow it down.
Yeah. And stop the murder move, because that is literally
the murder move after a match that you're not running around like this and botching a bunch might have been okay, but I still don't even know how that move is supposed to land. Is she supposed to land with her feet on the people? Is she supposed to land with her butt on them? Is she supposed to do a leg drop at the end of it? What is the finishing part of that move? Well, and this week she didn't even touch the other girl. She literally landed on her feet and just kind of flopped over.
No, she caught the side of her face. If you watch it really careful, the heel catches the head.
But that's because she was basically just landing on her feet. So what part of the move is supposed to be the impact, Byron? You tell me.
So my thing with that is I think it's supposed to end in the senton, I think. But also, and I'm impressed with it, and I popped. I'm like, oh, good for her. She's really having a go at it and doing something that looks like it looks like she should win after that move. It's a legit.
It didn't to me, because she didn't connect with anything that looked impactful.
The first time I saw, she landed flush on her opponent. But also,
I wouldn't say flush. She landed on a spinal column first, and then like gave herself a neck injury nearly.
But yeah, that's the other thing.
She hit the mat and then hit her opponent, which is.
I get that you want to have her have something impressive, but I just they got to hone that thing in.
I think the most problematic thing about it, though, is the best case scenario, regardless of if she's botching, if she can nail it, whatever troubles are now. It's, of course, something bad could happen. It's going to lead to injury if it continues to be sloppy like this. If you don't think it's sloppy and you think she's doing a great move, best case scenario, she's still giving herself that whiplash, the head to the back.
Right. I don't know. Look,
which is not smart.
I'm gonna go with Meef on this one. Two votes to one. Katy Cantanzarro on the wall of shame, even though I think Meef and I have different reasons for it.
No. We have the same reason, but then I add on the fact that she's going COVID pies to it as well.
Yeah. I'm with you guys. Like it's like you see wrestlers like Lance Archer who take their finish and they adjust it from like being sit out to just dropping to the knees.
Yeah,
because repeated impacts, repeated stresses on joints and backs and stuff will lead to long term. Like Hulk Hogan, who had one of the least impactful wrestling moveset in the world ever.
Wait a minute. So we've now got Katy. I can't even say her name properly because it's a stupid fucking name.
Cantanzarro.
Mixed in with Hulk Hogan. What a shock there.
Nah, not at all.
Lady going to those with the pro-Trump friends and the
people in Tampa, right? But it's like you have Hulk Hogan saying, "I wish that I used a sleeper hold or anything else other than the leg drop," because you know how many times Hulk Hogan won in his career. So he did the leg drop how many times, and now he has like 50 back surgeries, like 10 a year.
Yeah,
and that's from a leg drop. You got to be smart. So if you're doing a flippy move, okay, if you have a freak accident, you land wrong and break your leg, that's one thing. But you can't be afraid of that as a wrestler. But the repeated whiplash, the repeated, car accident at the end of every match you're supposed to win, you're just asking.
It's going to make her thicker than she already is.
Right. Well,
so
anyway, look,
for that reason.
So we had started this off talking about Lars Sullivan getting cut a little bit too, which makes sense. It says he didn't show up for TV a couple times. He seems to be taking complete responsibility for it. If you don't know, he's got some issues in his backstory, which, they were kind of trying to fight, but they pushed him, and, Vince loves a big, strong white guy. And so he was getting a bit of a push. And I think that push was not for him on a lot of levels. Yeah. Because it brought back all of the stuff that from his past that he was fighting through. It wasn't the greatest push in the world either. And it seems like he just kind of pushed the panic button on the whole thing, and probably rightfully so. And him being gone seems like the right choice for everybody involved.
Agree. I mean, I think it became, without getting into specifics, because we can get into
specifics
if we want, but I mean, the alleged
other issues aside, other issues aside.
I don't think anything is alleged, but I also think like he's just dumb, and there's track records for a lot of stuff, and so there's probably alleged stuff that hasn't come out yet, and he just knows that he kind of blew his spot before he got there, and the
other thing as well is his knees are completely fucked.
They do look garbagey, don't they? Like,
oh no, he's had so many. The problem with most of his career was he kept on getting that little knee injury,
right?
And when he got the last layoff before he got moved up, that's when all that shit came out.
Yeah.
So like he would have been way far ahead of his career if he hadn't had those niggas. And he's a big guy. He's got the big show weight, but not the same height.
Right.
He has the similar condition. His hands are like the size of your fucking head. But he doesn't have the height. I think in general, if he his career was blossoming probably a couple years later, then they could have kept him as an NXT monster where he was effective and more sporadic, and maybe protect him a bit more. I really, really enjoyed when he was first coming up, and he would do tag matches, and his partner would lose, and he would beat the hell out of his partner every time. I thought that was silly, and I enjoyed it. So But there's a lot about his past I don't agree with, and
I think there's a lot about his past that he doesn't agree with.
Right. It's like the stuff he said, but then you also have to think about, okay, well, like we all talked a lot of shit on the message boards, and he has, I guess politically correct, politically incorrect is a way to say it, but he thought some things about types of people, but you got to imagine that's a little bit different now.
Maybe.
We're human beings.
I'm fully capable of A, forgiving somebody, and B, acknowledging that people can change over time. But I also think that this situation isn't necessarily about what he said. It's more about how do you deal with what he said and done in the past and make him a superstar. And it sounds like WWE was willing to give it a shot, and that he just was like, the pressure of this is too much. Cutting this promo like this is too much. And like, I just can't do it, man. I'm over it. Hey, but we were also arguing about Trey Miguel in our DM, which I Byron, you give me your take on it before I completely assassinate it.
Yeah.
Before I tell you why you're wrong.
Oh, God. So I think so what happened was the Rascals with a Z went to NXT, but then one of them stayed back in Impact. And then on a conference call, someone asked about, hey, what about Trey Miguel? How come he isn't with the other two guys? Because they're a thing. And Triple H said something to the effect of, this is a passion business. He was vague about it.
He didn't just say, because Trey Miguel sucks or because the guy didn't have any heart or anything like that. He was like, look, this is a passion business and, whatever.
That was a shot. Triple H knows what he's saying, and he is the best at always saying the most precise right thing. Like, he's great with like the business political side, and I don't mean that as an insult. I mean it as he's very good at that. So this subtle thing, there's something was there.
Oh, I don't disagree, but I also think that the something that was there was spot on, because Triple H is basically saying, look, we know there was 3 of them, but we got our guys. This is a passion business. He's saying that the 2 guys that came in have the passion for this business, which you can see. MSK is getting a nice push. They look super crisp. Their moves that they were doing on Impact that nobody was seeing, that should have been friggin' internet highlights, are all of a sudden
I've seen them live a few times
everywhere.
Yeah, they're great.
And Trey Miguel was a decent part of that for a while, but at the same time, my thing is, if he had a chance to do it, Trey Miguel came out with some statements basically saying, like, look, he's got some family stuff going at home. It sounds super important. He's got a training thing going on that sounds super important. He wants to spend some time doing stuff with Alex Shelley, which he thinks is super awesome and Impact. But here's my whole thing. If you get to a fork in the road and WWE is on that fork and there's a whole bunch of other important life stuff on the other one, guess what? WWE is still the path. There is no bigger and brighter future for anybody in the business at his level than going down that WWE road. You can leave in 2 years. You can leave in 3 years.
They ain't even saying, they ain't even in the fork in the road. They're in the fork in the road, but they've got a sign flashing, the lights are on and saying, we've got space.
Like, go use. Why don't more people think about going to WWE as using WWE? Yes, we know they're going to use you, but at the same time, if you go there for a year or two, you just fill out you go through one little developmental contract. Sure, maybe you could make more money in Impact and doing your training thing, but you come out of there, you're going to make more on your booking fees. You are officially, for the rest of your life, a former WWE superstar. You have
in
been
Midtown,
to
Minnesota.
You have been to the big show. Yeah, and why don't people just do that and say, yeah, I went there and screw those guys. It wasn't for me. You have more of a shot at saying that coming out than people get worried like, oh, well, I'm going to have to explain why I was released to this, that, and the other thing. No, tell the world, like, I had something better to do. I went and I did their thing. And I'm a badass. And now I can take it out on the indies and make some more money while I'm still young and fresh. Like, I hope more people do that. Give WWE the business. And I think Trey could have done that. But I feel like he took the path of less resistance that he thinks is going to be more fulfilling in his life. And I feel like he could have done more for his family, more for his brand, and more for his training schools if he had just sucked it up and done it.
Yeah, even 6 months failed there would have been better than 6 months not there. You would have learned a lot. Yeah, but he would have come back. He would have come back to Impact or whatever in like a year's time with a better brain.
Yeah,
because that's what you get.
No, there's definitely something to whatever you could say about the booking and the stuff you see on TV, but like behind the scenes, we've even heard from Kross when he's just gone for tryouts to feel the place out. There's a wealth of knowledge for training, for diet,
regimes,
for dieting, learning promos and character work. Like we'll probably get into Kenta later, but like Kenta's post WWE stuff is like it was perfect for him because he's not going to wrestle how he wrestled before WWE in his later years, and he's doing some of the best character work ever, and that's something he picked up for sure. I don't know, but someone asked because of that Triple H comment. They asked Trey Miguel, and also you just want to get articles in him in the dirt sheets to help promote. Okay, so now he's just a star, a solo star in Impact. Like, let's pay attention to him. So they were talking to him, and he explained it. I liked what he said. He just has other priorities, and he spelled it out. Like the other guy's married, the other guy's engaged. They need something else from wrestling than I do, and that's what WWE and the Performance Center NXT was providing for them, and it's not what he wanted. And he specifically mentioned that that his brother, he had a nephew that was born premature, and to him, it's much more important to be there and to be with his family now. And that's why I get that he's not going to go do the 2-year thing because he's not ready now to leave home, to leave all that stuff behind, to leave his training school behind. And I get a lot of people work for the business, for success in the business, and are ready to, like the old days, you go to train somewhere and you stay in a hotel room with a duffel bag and you eat potatoes for a living until you get a break, and it's like not everyone's into that. And I think the industry
I agree
has more to offer than that path. But I definitely think he would make more money if he had the WWE branding behind him. I also don't know if you don't know what they offered him. The other two guys definitely are hot, and they definitely got a good deal with respect.
He might have been offered less.
Yeah, who knows what they offered him, and who knows, maybe he understood the booking. They're like, well, we want to bring you in, but something else. Maybe you'll be someone else. And I agree with what he was doing, and I also agree with the idea of like he's putting a positive spin on it, and he's trying to come back to Impact, and he's going to try and do a singles thing there and make the best he can now. And he's young enough; he can always try out next year. He could always try and sign.
Well, I don't know. I don't like close with them. They're like.
I appreciate that you appreciate them, but I don't know that it's quite the same as the Kross situation, where Kross, basically passed on some early opportunities when they had some mild interest in him, and he wanted to go out and build more of a brand for himself, and he was scared shitless about it.
Yeah,
of passing up on that opportunity. He just thought that he was in a better position to make a name for himself somewhere else, and then he could come in even as a developmental talent and be a bigger thing. And it worked out. He didn't know that it was going to work out, but it did. But I think that he was coming to it not from a place of being risk averse, but coming to it from a place of telling WWE, look, I want to do the most work that I can do to be ready and right for this. I don't hear Trey Miguel saying that.
I think they're totally different situations, but I think that relationship with the company and how they're handling that is where that's really apparent. Because in talking with Kross since the very beginning, when his name wasn't worth $5 in the business, he still had the same humbleness, the same like pragmatic approach to contributing and being employable in the business as he is now. It's like you want to make yourself something that your boss can make money off of.
Yeah, and that you can make money off of.
And so like he's great at all that. And I feel like during those conversations coming and going at the NXT or WWE, he made sure that they didn't feel that he was wasting their time bringing him in.
Correct. He made himself feel like more of a commodity. He was
Yeah.
basically saying, hey, look, I know
It's
you
fine
guys
if
want
you-
to you want to buy into this stock, this commodity early on, and thank you. I appreciate it. But let me go out and do some things that are going to make this more worth it. You'll still get a good deal on it, and you're going to make more off of it if I do it this way. I am going to be a commodity. I'm going to be somebody to invest in. And he is.
Yeah, and it is possible to do that. You see other people, even like James Storm, Triple H and him have the same story. Like they talk, blah, blah, blah. And Triple H is like, Impact's going to pay you more and you got a family, you got kids to feed. You should take that deal. And then James Storm, before COVID, was supposed to come back. Like,
Right.
you can do good business without actually doing business with WWE. And that is apparent. I'll agree with you that something happened. Trey Miguel did not leave the door as open as, never say never in wrestling. But
Never say never in wrestling, but right now it does not look very open. But so that we're talking about Kross a little bit. So I'm going to jump ahead to some of his stuff from this week.
Can we take a quick?
You want to take a break?
We
break?
will. Let's talk about Kross first and then take a break. You want to take a break now? Okay, fine. Byron wants
We've
to
been
take a
going for
break.
almost 40 minutes.
No, we haven't. We didn't start the welcome until like
Quarter past.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Doesn't
did I
matter.
write down the wrong time?
Of course he did.
Probably.
Of course you
Fuck.
did.
It doesn't matter.
My
We'll
time
take a-
code notes are basically I have like when we open and when we go to break, and they instead of numbers, I just write a curse word.
Here's the deal. We'll take a quick break and then we'll come back because I want to talk a little bit about Paige
NXT,
VanZant. I want to talk a little bit about Kross and NXT. So we'll do that right after the break. And at some point in this episode, we'll get to a Lucha Rewind because that's actually going to be kind of fun this week too. So stick around after the break. Right now,
Stay
let's throw it
calm
out.
and stay.
No, that's for later.
No.
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that.
Me,
This
if I'm
is
dropping you from the show.
right now. Let's throw it over to Denise Salcedo in Lucha Central to find out everything that's happening this week on the Lucha Central Podcast Network.
Hey everyone, it's Denise Salcedo here in Lucha Central with a reminder of where and when to catch all of the great network content this week. Get the full lineup and listen to all of our shows in the podcast network section of luchacentral.com. Sundays on the Lucha Central Facebook page, world-traveled shooter of the camera kind, Jerry Villagrana goes mano a mano with a fellow photographer to throw down about some of their favorite photos they have taken at Lucha Libre events. Monday, Business of the Business returns as Mass Republic President Kevin Kleinrock takes you inside how your favorite Lucha Libre merchandise gets made. On Tuesdays, Mass Mats and Mayhem takes you inside the world of Lucha Underground as they take you weekly through the series with the benefit of hindsight and the benefit of special guests from the groundbreaking series. Check out the premiere video stream every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on the Lucha Central YouTube channel and at luchacentral.com. Then listen to it on your favorite podcast platform every Wednesday. Tuesday nights live, it's Wrestle Boss, where Favi Chulo talks MMA and pro wrestling with special guests and listener call-ins. Visit WrestleBossLive.com Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific to listen live or call in with questions or download the show on podcast platforms on Wednesdays. Wednesday nights live on Facebook, it's Spanish show La Mesa de los Márgaros, giving you both the news and the chisme from around the lucha world. Special guests and a whole lot of fun make it one of the most talked about shows in Mexico. Thursdays, it's Straight Out of the Bodega with Papo Esco and PWR promoter Gabriel Ramirez as they have guests from throughout the wrestling world pull up to give an inside look into their careers. From indie standouts to television superstars, each week brings a new name and perspective. On Friday, it's your double dose of Lucha Central Weekly podcast, one in English y el otro en español. Lucha Central Weekly is where you'll find all the top stories of the week, both inside and out of the ring from Mexico and anywhere luchadores are in action across the globe. Be sure to subscribe and follow all your favorite Lucha Central Network series on your favorite podcast platforms, either by their own series name or subscribe to the Lucha Central Podcast Network show pages to get all of the shows in one easy feed. And please consider giving a rating to help more fans find the shows that you love. For now, this is Denise Salcedo signing off from Lucha Central. Have a great week.
Denise, can I just say thank you? Thank you so much, Denise, for saying all of those things. those things that you've said exactly the same way for weeks and weeks and weeks now. You remember when Denise used to cut new promos for Lucha Central Podcast Network every week?
She's too famous now for us.
Yeah. I know, we can't. We're just
Although
running
she
the
does
same
hang around with confirmed
now?
sex pest Adam Blanfield. So
wow.
Ooh.
Blampied, sorry, Blompied.
He's
a piece of
He
shit.
just likes to throw it out there.
He's a
Meek
piece
is
of
just
shit.
about throwing down.
I'm still amazed every time if you're watching the video and you see me look into a corner, I'm watching myself on the screen behind Justin thinking, I need a haircut.
Over there. Sorry, I'll do that. You want to
more
get
than a
little
fucking
more,
haircut.
But I have
get you a little more FaceTime?
That was a That
How
was a
long
great,
did we talk to Karrion Kross in this episode? Jesus, he's still there.
I don't
he's
know.
down
No,
here
we
in the
this was
corner.
like- this
We're not
was
even
like
letting him
an hour.
talk. We have like the biggest wrestler in the world on the friggin' show, and it's just us talking, and Karrion's down here like,
it's like we call him up. We're like, hey, Kevin, check this out for 3 hours.
that should tell you something. That tells you who the real star is, damn it.
Yeah. No,
It's Byron.
I'm actually very interested in that episode now. I kind of want to watch it again.
It's a great one. We have 5 interviews with Kross, 5 or 6. Anyway, I want to talk about him in a second, but I want to throw a quick shout out to Paige VanZant. I watched the bare knuckle fighting championship thing last night. I've watched quite a few of them because my agent has some connection with them. And it was really entertaining. It was a great fight. She 100% lost.
Yeah.
I had the other girl, Hart, winning the middle 3 rounds. I actually gave Paige the first round. I thought that she did enough with power shots. And she actually had a higher connect percentage in that round too. The other girl just was pressing the action, but the shots were wimpy and it didn't do anything to me. But I thought she clearly won the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round. And then Paige destroyed her. Not enough for a 10-8 in the last round, but she even said, that girl said in the interview, like, you know, Paige is a beast. She knocked my teeth back. And like, you could see her two teeth over here were pushed back into her face, about to fall out. Like,
that was painful to see.
Paige is no joke, man.
The picture of them two is hilarious.
Yeah, it was. And also, right after the fight, when Bret the Hitman Hart went up for the hug, Paige was like, stay humble. Like, she was pissed, you know? But like,
I know,
Paige
and it's
she should have fought for more than the last round.
Oh, the range and the distance thing got to her a little bit. I think she was doing a good job with the clinch, but in MMA, you would be able to do something with that clinch. In bare knuckle fighting, the problem with the plum clinch is this: you got this, but guess what? The only way you're allowed to strike is still with your hands. So you gotta do it with just one hand, and then start doing this, and you have to be moving in there and doing something with your hands. It's not even Muay Thai. You can't do knees, you can't do elbows. So, you know, like normally when you're pulling the person's head down and you're trying to get some control there in Muay Thai or even in MMA, it does you some good. But in this, you got to still punch. And she was learning that on the job. There was a lot of on the job training for her. I would expect that if you see her come back, she'll probably have an easier opponent and a much better time, and she will probably destroy. And I think she was beating the hell out of that girl, and if she had figured it out sooner, it would have gone more in her direction. But I don't think there's anything to be ashamed of.
Yeah, it was definitely worth your money to watch that fight.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to.
She clearly had some low moments after the fight where you could tell she was a little down on herself on social media and whatnot. But look, she got paid a lot of money, a lot of money to do that. And anyone's going to be down after they go into a real fist fight with somebody and they don't come out victorious. So that's just the way it works.
3 men, we understand this more than anything.
Yeah. That was something that I haven't watched bare knuckle too much, and that became really apparent in this as opposed to MMA. It's like there aren't a lot of decisions, and whoever loses, they really lose. Even at one guy lost on a body shot, and you watch in slow motions, like that person, like that guy, like wasn't getting up afterwards. Like, no, he probably has a broken rib.
Yeah, like it was. Yeah, he floated. He got something floated inside of him that was not something that he was supposed to be floating around inside of him. And Chris Lieben, I don't know if you got a chance to see that one, Byron, or not, but Chris Lieben, former UFC star, he was fighting this just monstrous guy who I've seen murder some people before. And the dude is just a rock. Like nobody understood. Like this was his retirement fight. He's going to be a part of the company, I think, over at Bare Knuckle, but he wanted to have some credibility going into doing that. He wanted to retire. You know, the way his UFC career ended, and he had ups and downs and drugs and alcohol issues and this, that, and whatever throughout his career. And seems pretty cleaned up now, but he wanted to go out on top with a fight. And boy, did he ever, because he won in the first round and clowned the dude. And it was not because he was the better fighter. It was because he's made out of brick and mortar.
Yeah, that was like early first round too, right?
Yeah. I think there was like a little break in there but whatever. There were some fun fights on there, and then the actual 135 belt. That was a couple of guys, one who had a lot of professional boxing, the other guy who had some UFC stuff, and they were both top-notch guys, and that went the distance. And I actually thought the decision could have gone either way, so maybe they'll get a rematch out of that. Anyway, bare knuckle fighting, it was fun, and it's a different sport to watch. It's a different kind of combat sport altogether.
You should come here. I used to go and watch it all the time. Gypsies just mashing the fuck out of each other.
You can't say gypsies anymore.
Fantastic.
I've seen
Traveler. I'm part Romani gypsy.
You're a traveler. I think that's what we call them here in the States now. Travelers. Anyway, I'm a fan of combat sports all around. I would like to see. I think if bare knuckle had some knees and some aspects of Muay Thai to it, also would make it a little bit better. But it's fine. I'll take it. I'm good with it. All right, so let me talk.
Broken glass bottles. That's what we need.
We're moving to a different topic now. Stop it.
Okay, Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is the top star on NXT. Prove me wrong.
Well,
yeah, he's the top star maybe across like 3 brands.
Well, you brought Edge, who's like the biggest star with the biggest resume, and he shows up everywhere, and he goes nose to nose with Roman Friday, nose to nose with Kross, and those are the 2 notable exchanges of Edge since the Rumble. But he's talked to more people since then.
Yeah, I mean, look, he did what you're supposed to do. He did the circuit. Nobody really knew, where he was going to, where he was going to pick. A lot of people obviously think that there's some way that, Edge and Orton might have happened, and he had a great match with Orton. I thought that shorter match was better than the best match ever that he had with Orton on Raw. A, because I think he's in better shape now, and B, because Orton's just at the top of his game right now. Like I get that they can't keep pushing him at the very top of the card all the time, or it's going to not continue to work. I think that they're using him great right now. And, I feel like they did that so that you don't expect to see Edge and Orton at WrestleMania, though it could still happen. Yeah. I don't want it to happen by any stretch of the imagination.
I feel like this is his Hall of Fame run, if you know what I mean, for him. This is going to be his little these bit of final years where he cements the Hall of Fame.
Edge?
No, for Orton.
For Orton.
He could do another 10 years.
I don't know if Orton's
he can do one century. This, I think, but what I mean is what he's putting out is way better than his.
I think Edge is doing basically a Hall of Famer run here. But
the thing with Edge is that first of all, AEW was going to sign him. They, however deep they got, even if it was just as far as they wanted to, and they had the idea that was in the period where WWE was spending a ton of money on people to not go. Edge got a huge contract, and kudos to him for working every week now leading into WrestleMania and putting in the work. Great on him. But also you look at your investment in someone who is super popular that everyone's been wanting to come back, and then you also look at how much you're spending on him. Yes, win the Rumble, get the big WrestleMania match, get as much money, sell as many tickets and as much merch off of this guy as possible.
Him showing up in AEW would not have worked because of the simple fact that Royal Rumble last year, as soon as you heard, you think you know me, it was over, man. Everyone was like, oh, what the hell? I mean, it was great. And they're WWE is actually following through on a story to, I think, a logical conclusion at this point. And honestly, from here, no matter where it goes, it works. Like he could go to WrestleMania and lose, and it's fine. Yeah. He can go there and win, and it's fine. no matter what, it's a satisfying story, and they have completely succeeded. That Royal Rumble win, and plus going from 1 to 30 also was a part of really making it work, which a lot of times they don't invest in doing something like that. They have done it before, but just like,
I'm glad they leave it a few years between now.
But at some point in time, you gotta, and it's part of the reason why I had so much fun with wrestling this week. Is it started with that moment of every now and then you do actually still have to give the fans what they want. It can't always be a swerve. It was a double swerve back to just giving the fans what they wanted, and it worked. And
the Christian moment.
Having Christian in there, but a lot of times they give you that, and they'll pat you on the back and say that's good enough. That's all you need. No, give me the big deal. But so then it leads to, Edge has his regular Monday Night Raw stuff and the killing of the feud with Orton, and maybe Drew's the guy for Edge to face. We get a little bit of that, and then he comes into NXT and. You have Finn and Pete Dunne standing there doing this thing, and already you're popping because Edge comes out and he's giving these guys some respect, which was nice. But it felt like that's all it was.
My name's Pete Dunne, and I'm going to beat you someday.
But I like that. And when Pete Dunne shrugs when Edge is addressing him, Pete Dunne's just like I care who you are.
That's what I mean. I much prefer Pete Dunne. Never put him near a microphone. Let him just shrug and give facial expressions to people. Fantastic.
That was great. No, I think Edge acknowledging it was even better. Edge was like, go ahead and shrug, kid."
Yeah, but you don't pull that shit with Edge with his experience, the improv experience from wrestling, and now he's an actor too. But
even if that was a shoot, even if Edge was shooting on him when he did that. That put Pete Dunne over more than anything else could have in that segment, because he's just like, look, kid, if I was you back then, I would have shrugged me off too.
Yeah, but what gets my thing about Pete Dunne now, I want to call him Pete Dune, but what gets me now is they brought him back as
it's not Dune because it's got two ends.
It's Dunny.
Pete Dunny.
Pete Dunny.
So they bring him in, but he's like, this is the Stone Cold Silent Heater type in the group.
Bright orange.
That had a mouthpiece, Pat McAfee. That was louder and more eloquent than the entire roster put together. So Pete Dunne didn't have to, what he was doing worked because it was in such contrast. He didn't have to speak for himself too. But they take McAfee off because for what they don't want to pay the fee, or they don't want him upstaging everyone every single Wednesday. Whatever it is. Now Pete Dunne's character doesn't have the balance to it.
Yeah, but he's got a title program.
Yeah, I'm not excited about it.
I know, but look, this run is what it is. Like, look, we've talked about this before. Finn Balor is handpicking his opponents right now.
Yeah,
I think that Finn went in the back and he was just like, "How long are you going to leave this thing on me? Okay, great. In that amount of time, I want this guy and this guy and this guy." I think he's picking his opponents, and I think it'll be a great match. I think him and Kyle O'Reilly was a great match too. It doesn't amount to a whole lot in the greater wrestling sphere of things, but that's also what was apparent in this segment too. And I think they called it out for what it is. It's like, okay, I'm down here with you guys. Finn, you've clearly been something before. Pete Dunne, I don't know much about you, but if you guys go and have some kind of match and I still haven't made this decision, like if you actually show me something, but that's also acknowledging that to this point, Edge, the character, and WWE booking on top of that is basically saying that, like, you haven't shown us enough for you to be the guys yet.
Yeah.
To earn my WrestleMania spot.
Right. And that's the booker saying
you in that position.
Through Edge's
You may have a title on you, but I'm the guy who's going to make you at WrestleMania.
Correct.
Yeah, correct. I feel also that Finn's character, his stuff with O'Reilly is great, and especially now when like everyone's coming at him and he needs friends and he doesn't have any friends. He's a bit more muted as a character.
I know
O'Reilly stuff. It makes sense, but like with Edge coming talking to him like that, he should speak up.
Right. And here's the problem with Finn Balor right now. It's like, Finn, you did go to the dance. You got the Universal title. You had to drop it back. Whatever. Shit happens. But all that says is like, look, they put you back down at NXT. But look what happened to Drew McIntyre. If you come back down here, you need to look larger than life. Without being a dick or showing off or whatever, your presence should be that of a WWE superstar, not an NXT superstar. You should be making me feel like you are the top thing in this program every week. I don't feel that from Finn Balor. I feel like Timothy Thatcher could as easily be the top guy right now as Finn Balor. Anybody.
I mean, I really enjoy what they're doing with Thatcher.
We'll get to that. I don't want to jump off to that. I'm just saying, like, in this moment, and it was really clear with Edge out there.
Yeah, Finn had that appeal for a minute, but to my point of him kind of actually being an overall muted character, like I get circumstances where you rely more on subtext than whatever, but like he should be saying and doing much more overtly to show that that he's the big deal that got brought down.
Well, put it this way, you can only pick 3 things from NXT to watch. You've got the Zapper, and you can only click 3 things. You ain't clicking Finn Balor, you're clicking Escobar, Kross, Thatcher, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or maybe Loomis. Maybe I'll even turn in to see the human kaiju, like, or something that's fun or interesting or new. But it's not going to be Finn. It's not new. I know the guy can wrestle. I'll watch his wrestling matches. But Meep is right. If you got to pick 3 or 4 things from NXT that jump out at you or that you're interested in or that are driving something for you. But look, the moment where Edge came in there, I thought was great. It was like, look, they got to give NXT the rub. I thought that was it. That was fine. Then we move into the Santos thing, which I'll talk more about the match in a minute, but I do want to just get to the face-off with Kross. Kross comes in, destroys the LDF boys, and then, has this no stick moment with Santos where they're just in each other's face and Kross is letting him off the hook almost. It's like you could misconstrue this as running scared, but he's also just like, I've got time for you. Like, take your time. I'll be back. I'm circling back for your ass. And Santos is kind of like, bring it. I got you. I'll handle you whenever, now or later. Like, it was good. It was a good face-off.
It was great, but like he said, because he has this sort of poetry to some of the stuff, but it's also not like too convoluted where it doesn't make sense. But he was saying like, he said, I'm going to give you the gift of time
to think about,
but time is a double-edged sword. So it's like, yes, I'm not going to kick your ass now, but just know, in addition to like being given some time, you have a countdown,
right?
So like kick your ass. And
and it's also saying you don't ever know when it's going to come. You don't get to pick the time. I get to pick the time.
But Escobar, the whole time he had that look on his face, that pompous, like smiling the whole time when his buddies are getting beat up, but also because he knows he's walking the walk. Like he's a badass.
And that's the trick to that storytelling too. Is you have to still feel like maybe Santos has a trick up his sleeve. Like maybe Kross is playing into Santos's hands.
Well, you stand them next to each other, and especially the way Santos carries himself, it doesn't look like he's going to get outclassed or out like beat up by the
Not at all.
Physically, they don't look that different.
We know he won't.
Maybe.
Yeah, but that one moment. So they both are playing their cards, and they're both playing their cards like a game of poker with their poker faces, looking, I'm tough and confident, and I'm tough and confident. But then when Kross shooed him away, that look by Escobar made the whole scene. That shook him. That broke him.
And I don't want anyone to get this twisted. I don't want anyone to misconstrue this. I'm a huge fan of Kevin Kross, but let's be honest. Santos Escobar is 130% the better wrestler of the two. Let's never get that mistaken or twisted. He is I think Kross would tell you that himself. Well, he's been doing it for a long time. He grew up in a family that does it. His moveset is through the freaking roof. Now, whether or not he has the perfect ability to harness all of that all the time, depending on what's going on in the back or what they're trying to get out of him or his character honing in, like I feel like the biggest thing that's probably held him back in his career is he has too much and doesn't necessarily know what to use when, because the guy could do anything. And I think a lot of performers that have that issue, I've seen some of that issue with Rey Fenix and Penta too, is like they can do so much and then what do they actually do? And I think that right now Santos is harnessing it very, very well.
And again, the match with Kurt Stallion as well. I messaged him and I was like, It just tearing him apart. But I was like, the psychology was just
so good. Also,
so perfect.
Santos Escobar has worked out 3 finishes.
Yeah.
He has 3 NXT finishes, right?
Yes, submission.
He has a submission and then other 2, which is great because he can, and they're all finishes. It's not like his finish went to a special, And so it also adds that extra bit of storytelling on a match where, like, if he's going to hit both of them through all the hunt and then the face smashy one and then get the pin, it means a little bit more. It means something different. And it gives him so much more range in storytelling.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about this match and why this match was different and perfect for Santos, especially when he's going to have this face off with Kross and they're going to kind of get an out to the program if they need it with Kross, is that he took direction well. Somebody clearly told him, hey, bro, in this match, you're an old school dirty heel out on the indie circuit, giving the business to some local guy that they just propped up that you don't even want to wrestle tonight. And he took that
with some of those chops.
Oh, on purpose, though. On purpose. Did you see how he held him before the snapmare? Like, it was just a snapmare spot. Kurt was about to throw himself into it. And Santos is like, no, brother. I snapmare you over when I want to snapmare you over. We're doing this my way, and I'm supposed to look a certain way out here. You can feed me moves all day long. I don't care. He wasn't letting him, even the kid knows he's going to get squashed. And Santos is like, no. When the ref tells us it's time for you to get your heat, you'll get your heat. And until then, this is the worst day of your life. I'm sorry about your luck. And he wasn't being
around the ring.
In real life, like, he was totally protecting the guy. He wasn't being mean to him, but he was doing certain things. Like the snapmare, I noticed, obviously, it's an old heel technique. When he was on the ground mat wrestling with him, he was tying the kid up in knots on purpose. He was tweaking the ankle on purpose, pushing it down like, no, you don't move yet. I'm going to let you know when you need to move. No, you just stay right there, buddy. You're going to move. I'm going to twist it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, it was playful and it was good, but he wasn't no-selling the kid. He let the kid get his heat when it was time, and then he thoroughly obliterated him at the end. But
by the way, he's a good guy, Kurt Stallion.
Yeah.
I'm digging him. I don't know anything. It
was weird to hear him say, like, I earned this on the 205th episode of 205 Live. Like, I didn't know they even had that many episodes. Are they still a show? Is it even still on?
Yeah.
And if so, why? Anyway.
But so the last thing about the Kross and
I'm going through the progression of the Kross thing right now. So Scarlett is out there in the match, which adds a little bit of heat to it. And then, you've already seen the moment with him and Santos, and it was a huge moment. Loved it. Thought that was it. I know Byron was the same way because he was watching it after me and we're texting. I'm just like, I didn't want to ruin it for him. Like, wait for it. Here it comes.
I would text Justin like, holy shit, so such and such. And he's like, are you about 43 minutes in right now?
I was just waiting for Byron to get there because, here's Edge just nonchalant walking out, doing a little walk away promo.
By the way, before we get to that, it popped me. It's not even part of the story, but I popped thinking, that's kind of funny. The show just caught the biggest star, even the taping early.
Right. Which I thought was, I thought spoke volumes as well. Like, he stayed for the Santos Kross match or Santos match in the Kross moment, but didn't stay for the rest of the show. Interesting. Anyway. So then Kross walking up on him was like in Edge's face, and Edge not just throwing it away, giving him the looks, giving him the heat, letting the guy cut his promo. That was something relatively unheard of in WWE.
Yeah.
Here's the guy who's in the top program across all 3 shows right now, acknowledging a guy that had the belt for one day, and gave him something to think about. And unlike with Finn and Pete, where Edge is basically like, yeah, maybe if you guys show me something. This acknowledgement from Edge was more like yeah, dude, if you were the champ, this would be a much different conversation, but you're not.
Yeah. But also, and to that effect, also, like, as far as star power and levels people are at, to me, it looked like, we probably talked about this too. But when he was with Finn and Pete, he was saying, like, if you impress me, you might have to deal with me. But the Kross conversation was,
I know you're going.
I might have to deal with you.
Yeah, and it was like that. But he was also giving him a warning, too, of if you do happen to get that belt and you do happen to step into my lane, we are going to lock horns, so be careful what you wish for. You know, and I liked Edge getting that heat back. He didn't just take the monster heat from Kross either, but that also shows respect. And the fact that Edge was willing to go down to NXT to that show to do an appearance and let Kross in there. Like we've seen Kross kind of poking jabs and having fun with Randy Orton back and forth on Twitter. And these are top friggin' guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That have been doing this.
Orton saw him and was like, "Oh, I need this guy. Someone give me this guy."
But
I hope
that is
so
exactly
much.
the point.
I hope so much, by the way, that Orton when he's drinking on
Edge
Twitter,
was like Tinkerbell sprinkling his magic dust on
and
Kross
Edge is on the booking team, so like he's trying to get what he wants for this run too, and more power to him for it. But I think Orton is the person that Kross needs to have a lot of WWE matches with.
But I want him to go through some other guys first.
Yeah,
I want him to.
But I mean, as far as like learning the in between stuff, because Kross already has a propensity for that stuff.
Yeah,
is that the word?
Yeah,
like he's good with it. Orton is probably one of the best, and I feel like it's gonna up Kross's game. I also love that Kross didn't go face to face with Edge and look like the monster in stature that he looks like in NXT.
Right.
Because when he's just man to man, fighter to fighter, it gives him so much more that he can do. And also, like, if you're the monster and you lose the match, the allure is gone.
But this is what we've been talking about too. And he's got to grow out of the monster thing, because in reality, he's not that big. He looks that big and he looks that imposing on the indies, but when you see him next to these other guys, Randy Orton, much bigger than Kross.
Well, you see that like the face off with Santos, because everybody kept on going about how much he's bigger than Santos Escobar, and you go,
no, Santos is
2 inches taller, and
first of all,
same build.
Santos ain't no 205. He hasn't made 205 pounds in a long time, guys. First of all,
no,
he's not 205, not even close.
He's the
height of the 205. Yeah. Anyway, but
he's like Canelo. When you see him, like when I was up close with him, the picture of me and him doing like that, you can see he's like Canelo. He's built in a triangle,
and people forget
broad,
too.
And he's like.
You think that 205 is small, but don't forget that was the weight class of Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell. Those guys were 205 pounders. Forrest Griffin, those guys. 205 is not necessarily small, but in wrestling, these guys bulk more than fighters.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at like Brock Lesnar had to cut weight to make 265 heavyweight. He's a huge guy. Randy Orton is that size. Kross is probably pushing 240 something, maybe on a really bulky.
He said something. He's 250. I think he said the other day.
Maybe some Thanksgiving turkey still sitting in there or whatever. But when he's leaned up, I would put him around 240. So he is bigger than Santos, but not by a lot, because Santos is probably sitting 217, 221, somewhere in there.
As someone who also works out regularly and has taken Taekwondo, so I guess I'm trained in martial arts. I appreciate a lot. Like Kross and I probably to the eye would have a similar stature, but I think also
it's true. I've seen you cross eye to eye. You're about the same size. You're not.
With fair regard to not upsetting someone who can murder you, I think we need to point out that, so he doesn't have a bloated, muscular figure. He has a very practical, swift, agile killing machine type of a body, where he's still a strong.
Great white shark.
He's still as strong as anyone else is in the company. He does lifting competitions too, or he used to, and also just with his fighting training, his different styles, you get a strength that it's like the old school. Like Dan Severn had strong tendons,
Yeah. Look, I think it's size wise, he's gonna have to learn how to go with those guys, because those are the guys that want him. I get the feeling that the Adam Coles and Finn Balor's and some of these smaller guys at NXT don't care for Kross and don't really want much to do with him in general. And there's no real reason behind that. And I don't necessarily think it's any kind of dislike, but I don't think that they see an upside to Kross for them, because there really isn't. But then you got guys like Randy Orton and Edge that I think do, and some of these other, bigger guys that are up on the bigger shows. And that says a lot. And also, I'll give Damian Priest full credit because from what I'm hearing, there's a lot of people backstage at Raw that like the guy. And that's one of the reasons why he's up there. They feel like he can go and that he can work. And I will say this, so far, he's only done a couple things up on the big show, but he has not disappointed. I think he was far more disappointing at NXT than he has been at Raw so far. And maybe that was the right call. His match this week I thought was good.
They might get on better. There might be just sometimes.
Well, yeah, and it's one of those things too. When you get an attaboy every now and then, that inspires you to do better. And maybe he wasn't really getting that, but at the same time, look, that match with him and Kross was not good. I can't say that it was good. It wasn't good. Both of those guys are going to have to learn how to work with guys their own size and maybe even carry them. Period. That's the name of the game. Like, look, Randy Orton's not going to want to work with Damian Priest if Damian Priest can't carry a little bit of it. Because here's the thing with both of them. For Kross, the Edge is one thing. He can get a Kross match out of Edge. But if you're going to go with Orton, here's what's going to happen. Orton's going to give you a piece of paper backstage, and he's going to say, write down 8 or 10 moves. 8 to 10 moves. That's how many moves you're doing tonight. And you got to figure out how to fill all the space in between. I'm letting you do 8 moves tonight, kid. Do those 8 and go. Let's go out there now. That's it. That's going to be the whole match. And if you can't sell that whole match with psychology, movement, excitement without doing more than 8 moves, you're not wrestling with a guy like Randy Orton, or if a John Cena comes back or one of these other big names. They're not going out there for some 20-minute indie show festival. They're not going out there doing Adam Cole super kicks and that crap all day long. They don't want to go with Finn Balor because they don't want some dude jumping off the top rope, stepping on their chest. Find a way to go with 8 moves for 15 minutes, and then you can work with the big boys and keep it exciting. And I think Kross and Priest both have their work cutting out for them figuring it out. I think that Keith Lee has had a tough time figuring it out. It's super hard for him because those 10 moves that he wants to put in there, he wants them to all be big spots. But after 15 minutes of running around, man, that shit ain't easy.
Could you imagine? He's working that. He had a great match with Orton, but could you imagine? Orton's probably wanting to give him more than most. But you're building the match, and then Keith Lee looks at him and goes, "All right," and then I'm gonna do a tope.
Yeah,
you're gonna catch me.
And Orton's like,
no.
You're gonna do what?
What?
You're gonna do a forearm shiver, right? That's what you meant to say, right? A forearm smash, because we can do that.
See, my
bionic elbow. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
My appeal is I'm over 300 pounds, but I jump really high and land on people.
Yeah, that's not like. Get ready to switch it up, Keith, because so far that run hasn't been very successful. Other quick things. Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher are hilarious. They're an amazing tag team.
Yeah.
Like, Thatcher makes every move look like it's happening in the bar parking lot after Last Call. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. It doesn't look crisp. It doesn't need to. It looks impactful. It looks painful. And it looks like it was done on purpose.
I love this. I love that it looks. I mean, and
obviously the UE did not need this. Undisputed Era, I don't know where they're going with them right now or what they're doing with them, but I think they'll obviously have their time. And I think after the locker room clears out a little bit, they'll be back on top
Hopefully they all disband and live in fucking caves.
I love those guys. Is Bobby Fish hurt again? I hope not.
Yeah, he hasn't been around for a while. I don't know what's going on.
Adam Cole exists.
So I love those guys. I mean, I think you don't like.
But they didn't need this win, so I think the win was appropriate.
Like, to your point, though, they all are. They're a good standard. If you need to write a show centered around, your group, they're gonna step in and do it and get it done. I mean, Meek doesn't like him, but you can see Adam Cole's one of the best. He knows how to.
Yeah, but look, they're not important right now. They're not important right now. More important was the LHP versus the LDF.
Yeah,
which we kind of brushed over.
I love, though, like, we talk a lot about Inner Circle cycling down, but still making things interesting and getting themselves over. I like how when Undisputed cycles down, they put Kyle O'Reilly on top and try and get him some shine, but also get him that practice.
Kyle O'Reilly looks way better than Adam Cole as a leader. and as a wrestler. So
oh, good. We've lost Byron just in time. So now,
I'm
we
still
can
here.
talk about. Damn it!
yeah, we don't have to talk about Adam Cole now
For
anymore.
some reason, my batteries died. Wait, I forgot to change them on the break.
We can talk about Lince Dorado, Grand Metalik versus Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza because
oh, good.
This is
glad
important because I think that I think that WWE is actually taking Lucha Libre a little more seriously now.
Mm-hmm.
And the match was great. It got the focus it deserved. I love that they booked this match. I love that they had this match, and I love how they did this match. I was very, very pleased with all of this. And look, Lucha House Party has had a lot of wins coming into this. I didn't expect them to win. I think it was the right call for them not to win. And they didn't, and it was well done. And hopefully after this, they let them get their heat back by going on another 5 or 6, match win streak. And they've been on like every show too. They're just using the guys everywhere, but not as jobbers.
They're not doing that horrible gimmicky shit.
No.
So in this match, they were telling the story of the high flying Lucha Libre versus the Yaves style, like more strong roots of Lucha Libre and stuff.
The Angelico style.
And I love how they finished it with just that quick thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was
a good finish.
It was like Legado won like after Lucha House Party had done quite a lot of work on them, and then they just they had one moment to kind of turn the match on its head, and they did and won from it. So it's like
I like their finish.
I like that.
Yeah, the one thing I will say is kind of regrettable about it is I feel like Lucha House Party versus MSK in the semifinal next week, semifinal would have been more fire, or it'll be 2 weeks, I guess. That would have been a great, great match to see. But at the same time, I think Legado del Fantasma will do fine with that match too. I think that'll be fun. And even with it being that way too, I think MSK will take the more high-flying style and approach just like LHP did in this particular one. But I liked that the LHP guys, part of the thing that didn't work about Lucha House Party before is it was a bunch of it looked like random luchadors stuck together because they didn't have anything to do with them. Give them some matching gear, give them a concept. I think they should lose the name and give them a different name, but keep them as a tag team. Let Metalik and Lince be a real team now. They've tagged together enough. They looked like a more American style tag team now. They were tagging in and out the right way. They weren't doing it lucha style, which in WWE is sadly the way it has to be. But it worked for me, and I think a lot of that had a lot to do with it. Like, make them feel like a more cohesive unit and take their Lucha Libre seriously, and not that they're just the fun, flashy Mexican guys anymore.
Yeah, and they used to do it where every single time they tried to do a flashy move, it would fail because, it would be showing, high risk equals high, loss.
Yeah. Anybody know what kind of shoes Kross was wearing, by the way? Those shoes were really nice when he came out and smashed everyone. Those were some
everything
nice shoes.
He's wearing. I've tweeted at him about his jacket, and that's the only time he knows so.
Well, he came out shirtless in dress slacks with like a $300 belt and like some $800 shoes. It was ridiculous. It was amazing.
Could you imagine? That's the outfit, and before that's the outfit, and before he comes out, he's like, what shirt is he wearing? Where he goes, I don't want to mess this up.
Right.
Because it was a nice shirt when he went.
And this is the sad thing about the evolution of Kross. He's going to get up to the big show, and he's going to be one of these guys, not unlike Triple H, who is ripping off, the $400 button-up shirt in the ring every time he comes to the ring, and I'm just crying as my Target wardrobe falling apart from moth holes.
Did it?
Oh man, we should get my cousin to do it. My cousin with his 6,000 pound shirts.
Oh my god.
I mean, what you do is you just take it backstage and you go to the seamstress, whatever, the wardrobe people, and you go,
yeah,
can you fix this by next week? But The Rock, when he was doing that heel run with like the $10,000, Hawaiian shirts.
Oh yeah.
He was just getting those from like Target, I think.
Yeah, but I don't think Kross would do that. And Kross would get out there and get all amped up, not realize he's just blasting through shirts that they're taking out of his paycheck.
And then just down the middle of the back, it just...
He almost did that in that one backstage beatdown that they did on NXT right after he came in. He totally ripped the buttons. I'm like, that shirt, that's like a Hugo Boss, like fitted, tailored. You son of a bitch. I hate you, Kross. Anyway, I want to finish talking about WWE so I can be done with it for life. Dominic wins over Corbin with some help from Ray. I get what they're doing here, but I have an idea. And it's not necessarily some genius thing. I think that it needs to lead to Dominic versus Rey Mysterio. I think they're headed that way.
The seed.
But I think that absolutely Rey should be the heel. I think the only way you're going to get Dominic over is to have Rey be despicable. If you have Dominic be the heel, he's going to get the meh X-Pac heat thing forever. If you have Rey do it, if you have Rey really go dark on him and give him the "you're not my son" treatment, the "you messed this all up," and then at the end of it, you can heal the relationship by, bringing the daughter back, and the daughter gets involved and they finally decide to let bygones be bygones and whatever. And then they run as a tag team for a short little run before Rey leaves altogether. I think that is the trick. But part of what Dom is missing is wrestling against a guy like Rey Mysterio, a guy where you have to take the hits. You have to do a lot of the work, but the other guy can still go faster and stronger than you in a lot of ways. Like Rey Mysterio actually is the guy that Dominic needs to wrestle to complete his training.
And in terms of compelling storyline, the father cracking down on his son, kind of.
Yeah, it can totally work, right?
It's there. It's right there. And it's like going, right, son, I brought you into this. You've been what we kind of need is Dominic to start getting entitled or something. And like, no, this is not how we do it in our family, son. We're humble people. You need to stop that bullshit.
Oh, but that's going the other way. I want Dominic to be the one telling Rey that, like, Dad, this is not our tradition, and have Rey just go off the rails of like, man, I've been here too long and I've cracked, and like, just have Rey go totally dark, which they started to do that a little bit with the whole Murphy bit and some of that other stuff, and healing on his daughter a little bit. Like, I think they send Rey all the way down that hole.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy. It's easy to have.
Or even they find the paternity test and really Eddie was his dad.
Or hold on.
Is that Eddie?
Look at him
lying, cheating, and stealing. And look, if Rey went that route of being a heel too, it's not going to hurt his overall legacy at all.
But I think
Phantasma needs to retire him though.
The father-son dynamic just works because sometimes as a father you just want to strangle the hell out of your son, but you still love him.
Can you relate, Justin?
Well, yes, I can. And look, they started that today. I think that maybe it was a subtle hint at trying to go that direction of
they started
Rey.
it before the Rumble. Hey,
I know,
Rey,
but Rey cheating, specifically cheating in the match to get Dominic the win. I don't know that they've really done it that way. Like, they've had Rey go off the hook and they've had some DQs and this, that, and the other thing. But this week, Rey outsmarted them, hid and caught Corbin, and then Dom got the win because of it, which is good for a few reasons. Because honestly, even as much as I dislike Baron Corbin, Dominic shouldn't be getting wins over him without some kind of chicanery. Yeah. But whatever. A couple of quick things I'd want to mention about SmackDown before we get the hell off of it. We'll go to the top and work our way backwards. Roman coming out at the end totally went full Beyonce with say my name over and over again. Hilarious. And of course, it didn't get the satisfaction from Edge. I feel like that is the match to make. I still feel like Edge Roman is the match to make. It's the biggest money out there.
They should have Goldberg in there as well. Have a spear off.
I'd love for it to be Kross. I think Edge versus Kross would make a great, feature bout for WrestleMania. But let's be honest. If you want the top bout, if you want the number one bout in wrestling right now, you'd have to do Roman versus Edge. You just have to. So we'll see. He's the top face.
That's also heel. Really, I know as much as they've loved Roman, and obviously I much prefer him now. Like, he hasn't got that stupid vest on, and he's doing great. He's doing what they've always kind of believed in him, and he's actually reached that level now. But this would be the confirmation, the passing of the torch for him. Really, some of the other ones he's been in with, we've not really seen as a passing of the torch, but this one would probably go down that route.
Kross just said some reply to me on Instagram about joining the MMMshow cult instead of the Kross cult. So whatever that's about, I love it. Thanks, Big Kev. Look, it's the way to go.
Have we promoted his new doll yet?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. I was talking about it. I don't want to promote it because then it's going to be sold out everywhere. I want to be one of the only people to have that one. He can make money off of t-shirts and other stuff. Look, Scarlett said she was going to buy 10, and my comment back to her was, Scarlett, you got the one that made the mold. You don't get to have 10 and have them be sold out where no one else can find them, you greedy, evil woman. Bruja, definitely. 33 years ago, main event, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant 2. Glad we relived that with the double Hebner swerve, which was really awesome and mind-blowing as a kid. I did not know there was more than one Hebner and that they looked alike. Yeah. How long did Vince work that up for us? Like, since they were born, Earl and David Hebner were both reffing the whole time as David Hebner, right? For like ages, and then they did the swerve where it was Earl and Dave out there at the same time. Magic. It was great. I still remember that. I still remember that moment. I hate the fact that Hulk Hogan has anything to do with it, but whatever.
Hulk Hogan was on.
We can CGI him out, can't we? Just put in a dinosaur.
But it's always weird when you turn on wrestling and Hulk Hogan's there, because I don't want him to be.
Because we're still turning on wrestling in 2021, and Hulk Hogan's still fucking there.
The last time I saw that he opened up Raw selling the H phone, it was like when, oh man, I'm going to get in trouble for being specific about this, but it's like you're talking to someone who's like over 50, who's running the same comedy bit, or like some like 10-year-old comedy bit about technology that's like 20 years old.
Yeah, it was tired.
Outdated. Yeah, it's tired, outdated. And there's no point to it. Like they just wrote an SNL sketch for him. And imagine the ones that didn't air.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you, Byron. It's like going to see John Lovitz at the John Lovitz Comedy Club when it was still a thing, and listening to him do the same shtick that he did, right after he got the boot from Saturday Night Live. It wasn't funny then. It's not funny now, and it's super dated and tired. Yeah. It's like, we know Hogan was at the top of the business at one point in time, but like, if you're going to bring him to do anything, can it not be something tired? And I guess this thing was all right. It was a historical bit. It's fine. They probably cut this same thing the same day that they did that other stuff and just, threw together a couple of packages so that they're kind of, honoring the fact that he was a big part of their business and he's the reason that Vince is a billionaire, whatever. I get it. Moving on. Bianca Belair, she's enjoying her run right now. Sasha is the obvious choice for Bianca to me. I don't see any upside in Asuka for her, and certainly no upside in anything at NXT for her. So I imagine that it's going with Sasha, but I'll tell you what I loved about this and I found interesting, similar to the Cross thing, was the fact that in the mix of everything that they did, Carmella's still involved. Carmella's dude is still involved. Carmella's still in the picture as a top guy, and I think she deserves to be there. I don't know how that's going to play out for WrestleMania or if it even is, but the fact that she was in the mix with those three girls in the biggest women's story in WWE right now made me happy, because I felt like she deserved it, and it felt right for her to be there. She's
put in so much work by those things. Yeah, I mean, I was not interested in Carmella or whatsoever, really, and then she's just seems to have used the time away effectively.
Yeah, she's earned it again. Yeah. She keeps doing this. She goes away for a little while, or she has a little bad luck or something, and then she'll be around, and you don't really care about her story, and then all of a sudden she is one of those people that knows how to get herself into a hot angle. She's a good worker. Alexa Bliss did this too. There's a reason why Alexa's at the top of the game. Alexa was not the best wrestler out there. She didn't have the right size. Her gimmicks weren't working for a long time, but she just always put in 1,000,000%, kept going, earned people's respect.
Booty shorts, Justin. That's what that is.
What happened was,
but it wasn't lots of, but seriously, lots of these female wrestlers have booty shorts. Meath, you can't tell me that Mandy Rose doesn't look just as good. It's like, you can't tell me that half of them don't. It doesn't. That's not everything once you're there. You got to still do the work. Yeah. Carmella's doing the work. Alexa did the work.
No, Alexa from the very beginning, she was the Sparkle Princess or whatever.
Yeah.
The sort of cheerleader gimmick, but she's also, a gymnast. But when she went heel, did the booty shorts, but when she went heel, she was doing more character work. Like most of the time, cameras on her face. And she was doing expressions and looks that were unparalleled on NXT at the time. And that's
what's getting the booty shorts.
Like 4 feet of eyelashes and eyebrows helps out a lot.
Like for as much as anyone wants to talk about how nice her butt is in the stuff that she wears. Really, all the main footage you see of her is of her face, and that's where you make money in wrestling.
I'll be honest,
she's telling all the stories with her face.
She's super attractive, and when I think of Alexa Bliss, I don't think about that. I think about her gimmicks, I think about her angles, I think about her storylines, which is a huge success. That you can take a character like that, doll her up, try to make her do like a pervy kind of gimmick or whatever. And for me, a wrestling fan, that was an ECW fan of all things, to actually remember her for her gimmicks more than her looks is.
Yeah, but to be fair,
they've done a good job. But I'm feeling that way about Carmella
the women
too.
In ECW because they're farts, so that's a different story.
I do think though, and I agree with everything you're saying, and I think that more fans need to also come along with that or add some separation. Like when Ambrose got married to Renee, or engaged or whatever, right? When they were a couple, all of the girls who were his fans were like sending death threats to Renee, and were like, "You're never going to meet this dude."
Well, that's hilarious, as in like psychopathic.
Well, yeah, and it's the same with Alexa. Like you're never getting with Alexa or Sasha or any of them. Like,
Alexa's going through that nonstop still. Like she got engaged, she like came out in a relationship, and everyone got butthurt. And then
I completely agree with you, except when it comes to Red Velvet, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about that.
I still have a chance, right? Right. I know she's got a guy, but
they're only engaged. It's not.
Not legally, that's all. That's all. It's not serious.
It's not illegal. First of all, well, what kind of a commitment is engagement anyway? It's not like you're married.
I know. It's just a way to get a piece of merchandise.
What's up, me?
We're not gonna say. Okay, we'll move on. Last thing. Cesaro gets a mild face turn again. Looks like he's going to get a little bit of a push, and he bled for it this week. I don't know how he hardway got cut on the side of his head, but it was hilarious. Whatever versus D-Bry. D-Bry even gave him the polite wrist wrap wipe. Because I think they don't want a bunch of blood on SmackDown on the network show, but whatever, let him bleed. Cesaro's good at bleeding. I mean, if he gave his teeth for WWE,
he's one of those guys who gets over when you bleed.
Yeah, let him take some abuse.
Let him headbutt. Let him and D-Bry headbutt steel posts again, like them and Nigel used to back in the day.
Let's take another quick break and come back and talk about some really, really important stuff over in AEW because it was hot this week, and a little bit of Lucha Underground in our Lucha Underground Rewind right after this.
Lucha-masks.com, in partnership with Mask Republic, give you personal protective masks to keep you Lucha strong in the fight versus COVID-19. With world-class luchadors Blue Demon Jr., the Lucha Brothers, LA Park, Ultimo Dragon, Cain Velasquez, Conan, and so much more. Head to lucha-masks.com and you too can become a masked warrior. Lucha-masks.com, powered by Pro Wrestling Revolution.
And we're back. Can I do that thing again, Byron? Can I do the and we're back?
You can, but I don't know if you watched last week. Good luck having it make it into the show.
Oh, dude, you should always have it make it in the show. I can't believe we're still talking to Kross in this thing. See, this is what was awesome. Like sometimes we actually interview people like, Skip Chasen or Conan. Like those were interviews, did research, like had questions, was looking for certain answers. This is just Kross hanging out with us for like 3 hours. Like if you want to get to know the guy, he's like another co-host on the show.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we don't have the whole 4-box thing because he's all down in the corner, all small half the time. But anyway, I watched Impact this week. I also watched MLW this week, which there isn't much to say about MLW storyline wise or what's going on other than like, it's not bad. Like they're doing a good thing over there. It's good for the business. They're doing a good job with it. They take it seriously. The storylines seem to make sense. Their version of Retribution is better than Retribution at this point. The Selena De La Renta stuff is fun. They're borrowing a lot from things that other places are messing up, which is funny to me because then they do kind of their own fun take on it and you get to see a version of it. But anyway, if you get a chance, check out MLW Fusion or whatever. It's a show worth watching. And there's a lot of Lucha Libre on there. In fact, next week, I think Laredo Kid is going to be wrestling next week.
DCZ.
So
he might not be wrestling.
Really?
He did some tapings, Triple A.
Triple A.
Klein Rock would say. and the cheese grill murderer, and he smashed his head clean open.
Wow.
It was a nasty gash. Yeah.
Wow. Look, you got to fight through that stuff. Byron, what do you got? What are you doing?
Beef, did you say nasty gash?
Stop.
I was looking at all your mouth hole.
Byron, what do you got there? What do you have in front of you?
Sorry, Meef is talking filthy. I have this thing.
Like, what are you opening right now? You're unboxing something and you're not telling us what it is.
I have.
Oh, you got one of these.
I have a new microphone.
You got the red one.
Got one of these. Good. We have different colors. And our other buddy,
What's up?
our other buddy James has a gold one that I've borrowed a couple times. Casey's got the original. Meef, what do you use? You don't have one of these because you're still on, right?
No,
Casey
I
sounds
do not.
and looks
I
like
have
he's
one,
doing
but
a cell phone video the whole time.
I use a headset now because I can't use my Blue Yeti on my phone.
Yeah, look, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Anyway, yeah, I watched Impact too. There wasn't not a lot to talk about this particular week. You know, the Tony and Tony promo, of course, was still fire. I love that Tony Khan was saying, I'm starting to make emotional decisions, like letting Mox defend his New Japan title against Kenta. That was a good moment. You know, what's a shame to me is it really feels like the X division has literally dwindled down to just TJP, Rohit Raju, and Chris Bay. Like the X division has for a long, long time back in the TNA days and even through now has always just been this super solid thing. But man, right now it feels really depleted. EY and his Violent by Design was the promo of the night, of course, as always. You got Dreamer Swan versus Moose and Bay. I like the story where they're going. Dreamer gets a title shot for his 50th birthday against Swan. They likened it to, you know, Dreamer stepping aside for Terry to have his last little run when Terry was like 54, 55 years old or whatever. No, Funk.
Oh,
Good Lord, not Bolea ever.
I would have loved seeing that though.
And it was great to see Bay go to work with Tommy Dreamer. And Bay did what he was supposed to do in that match, which was all of the work, even more than Rich Swann. But that's what the Young Buck is supposed to do in that match. You're supposed to go out there, make everybody look good, get your shit in, and move on and take the experience. And when Tommy Dreamer gets in the ring with you and slows you down, you slow down. And Bay, I thought, did it great. I thought it was good experience for him. You know, Moose picked up the win, but whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bay did all the work. Loved it. Felt good about that. So anyway, let's talk about some AEW.
Lucha Underground.
AEW.
Let's talk about AEW.
Byron, have you put your microphone on?
Have you turned it on? Are you trying to turn it on? There's a lot of AEW this week. First of all, if you're not watching Dark, Byron says it every week. Some weeks I watch it, some weeks I don't. But if you want to see why I think Rey Fenix is the top guy in the business right now, and just ever so slightly edging out Kenny Omega as the top guy in the business right now, watch Phoenix on Dark this week. He's facing this guy, Casey Navarro, who I don't know if this is a protege of his or not, but he looks like he's clearly done some Lucha Libre stuff.
Yeah.
The kid was okay, but it's, you know, Phoenix in there getting a light workout, and it looks like Phoenix is having fun at the gym in a training session, trying moves out and doing crazy shit. But this is
likened it to like Phoenix was having a match with one of his students. He let him shine, but he also let him know.
That's totally what it felt like. What's that? It might have been me. I don't know, but that's what it did feel like that.
Or Rob Viper.
But then also there's this rare moment of Phoenix catching the kid midair and showing his strength. Not something that you normally get from Phoenix, which I just thought was awesome. It's like, don't forget, this dude can be kind of hoss. Like, I've stood next to Phoenix. He's not as small as you might think.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
He's actually kind of tall. He's a little lean, but he's got these shoulders too. Like, there's a presence to Phoenix that is more intimidating than you might imagine, because he's always standing next to some seriously hoss dudes, and Penta's even bigger in, you know, the midsection. But, you know, sorry, because I won't make any more.
I can't remember what his finishing move was, but that big when he used to do the Phoenix Driver, I think that's what it was.
Fire Thunder Driver.
Yes. So when he did that,
what he calls it, Phoenix Driver.
he did it in the UK, and it was the guy must have been 15, 16 stone, so like 200 and maybe 300 pounds.
And he just hossed him, didn't he?
Yeah.
He is stronger. He's a lot stronger than you might think. I also loved in that match where he's doll face slapping the guy. He didn't pie face him. He doll face slapped him. Like, oh God, that was just so brilliant. It was similar to what Santos did in his match with that guy, but just super fun. Couple of other fun things on Dark. The Ty Conti versus Tesha Price. I thought that Ty knee strike in the corner was the best thing I've ever seen her do. It was so vicious.
We also talked about that. As soon as I saw it, I sent you guys a message. She's counting the steps.
Yeah.
You saw that she doesn't go corner to corner.
Nope.
She went 3 steps away or whatever the number is, did the strides, and then did the knee. And you could kind of tell she was sort of trusting the training on it. And she did all the moves, and she ended up doing a monster of a knee. It looked great. Her footwork is great. Improved.
Did you plug in your new mic yet, Byron?
Do you hear it?
It sounds echoey, though. Are you in Omni mode or?
How is it now?
Better.
How's it now?
It's facing the wrong way. Turn it the other way, Byron. You're talking. There you go. Now
how's it now?
Much better.
Perfect.
Thank you. Learn how to use a microphone.
I know how to use
I know how to use
microphones.
Okay, super loud. Anyway, moving on.
Hey, look, I'm Casey using a very state-of-the-art mic the way you're supposed to.
Ricky Starks on the waiting room. This is my favorite thing that Ricky Starks has ever done in ever. I love this. Him and Britt flirting with each other, the whole thing. Absolutely hilarious. Classic. They need to do more of this. Please, please, please keep Ricky Starks and Britt Baker orbiting each other in that unis. Whatever. I don't know. It was good stuff.
Ricky Starks he's absolute. He's the best.
Yeah. Also, by the way, I want to point out one other thing that I had in my notes from Ty Conti. Ty Conti. She actually worked the hard camera the right way mid-match. She gave a look to the hard camera. She's like the first person in AEW ever to do that. Do it the right way.
Shit, there's a camera.
Red Velvet was doing that hard cam.
Yeah, but Red Velvet also faced away from the camera on a couple other things too and canceled it out. Like Ty knew where it was the whole time in this match. Yeah, it was really good.
She's improving so much, like the footwork when she's running. So like when she can make actual realistic looking strides, everything looks better. But also, like her finish. Is like the gory backbreaker into a go to sleep knee, which requires some coordination. And she's hitting it legit now and throwing in the time's up before she hits it.
Yeah, time's up. Time's up, elbow drop, leg splat, whatever. Fuck off. Anyway, Ricky Starks in the waiting room was great. Thunder Rosa versus Danny Jordan. Mel was so stiff. Like, and I know her and Danny are friends, but with friends like that, who needs enemies? Good Lord. I felt almost bad for that girl. But Mel's getting over her character. Thunder Rosa. People don't know who I'm talking about when I say Mel.
Here's another thing to think about with that.
Thunder
Rosa is giving all those girls, women, paychecks, and also giving them a good show to be on at Mission Pro.
Oh yeah.
So if she wants to break the orbital bone or whatever, sure.
I'm already paying for it. I can break you in half. Nice logic, Byron. Meanie. Anyway, that was a fun match too. Santana and Ortiz ran through Fuego del Sol. That was good. Layla Hirsch squashed some jobber. That was not as good, but at least it was a squash.
She looked better in it than in others.
And then you got to the highlight of the show. There was some other stuff on there, like Sonny did all the work in an 8-man tag with Bear Country and some other people. Whatever. Who cares?
Bear Country.
There is a music video from the Acclaimed in this episode of Dark that any AEW fan has to watch.
Yo,
absolutely must see. what Max Caster does to every single person in the locker room. It is amazing. He raps and talks mad shit about everyone. It's so perfect. So perfect. Then they had a match with, oh God, he even made fun of the Lion Soul.
Yeah.
Which means, I had to like it.
I'm going to, something about keep talking shit. I'll break your neck. Oh, wait, you'll do it for yourself or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's perfect.
I also love his weird ass gimmick. I almost don't want to know the backstory on it to just keep the mystery of it, where he kisses the hands of everyone that he beats.
Yeah.
And in their double T move, he does the elbow drop and pin. So he's there to just molest the dude's hand on camera afterwards. If we don't
it's like the Katrina kiss of death, except way more creepy.
Yeah. And it's in the music video too. Because it's
lick your hand.
The video is called Throw 'Em Out. There's a bunch of people in the ring, and at the end of the video, everyone's over the bottom rope, and he's just going down the line, kissing all their hands. It's just
we need Justin to do the Mike Tyson version of kissing hands.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna kiss your hand like that. That's not a manly thing to do. That's not what a man would do if I was put in that position. See, if I was in the ring, I would just off. I would no. He said throw them out. I'm gonna just throw them out. That's like Robin threw me out. That's all I have to do. I throw them out. Sorry, Casey's not here this week. Casey's not here this week, so you only get the Mike Tyson impression. I'm not doing the Tejano impression because I do not know enough swear words in Spanish to do it accurately.
How do you say break your ass in two in Spanish? Culo, dos.
Just stop. Anyway, all I'm going to say about their match on Dark is Danny Limelight. This guy, Danny Limelight, he goes from a tiaras to a European uppercut to a Japanese style pump kick. He is all styles. Danny Limelight is the shit. I don't care what anyone says. Love that guy.
Yeah.
Acclaimed. Good Lord. Could you imagine Acclaimed in WWE? I know we talked about it before, but if they did exactly this gimmick in WWE, they'd eat up 15 minutes every week and be over for 4 years and sell all the t-shirts in the world.
It's weird that WWE doesn't have one of these gimmicks going now, Yeah,
I mean, Enzo was probably the last time they really did. Maybe a little bit with Elias, but
I would say No Way Jose was probably the last one. Not
that was not a good one.
But it was.
No Way Jose.
Yeah, poor No
But
Way
look,
Jose.
WWE even got No Way Jose over for a while with that nonsense. If the Acclaimed was there, this is exactly the kind of thing that WWE is good at. Anyway, let's talk about Beach Break.
No. You know what would happen? Caster would come to the ring, do the thing on TV, and then backstage, Cena would be like, that looks too much like my finish.
Right.
And then he would be fired.
Yeah.
And then
you rapping, you freestyle rapping, you can't do that over here. I do that. Anyway, AEW Beach Break. This is one of their not so pay-per-view on television premium events on Dynamite. It's a premium Dynamite. It's a paper Dynamite.
Yeah. It's their Clash of the Champions.
Yeah. Anyway, Tag Contender Battle Royal. This was not the best Battle Royal this week of the Battle Royals to be had. And we had a lot because we're going to talk about some in Lucha Underground in a minute as well. Definitely not the best one I saw. And good thing that Jericho was supposed to win that thing because I'm pretty sure they botched the exits on 3 or 4 people in this tag Battle Royal thing. There was a whole lot of guys who were hitting the floor going, oh, crap, I wasn't supposed to, or, trying to skin the cat and couldn't hold on. And it was kind of a hot mess. I didn't question the booking of this storyline wise, but I question the booking now of doing a battle royal so much worse than the Royal Rumble in the same week. That wasn't a good look for AEW.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, their camera work and directing was super sloppy at the beginning too. It's and they would miss spots that they were already filming. The camera's already on it. That camera's the one feeding to the broadcast. And right before a move happens, they'll cut to a different camera that's shooting 7 backs
Yeah, it was weird. There was a lot of botches camera in the ring. Like, it wasn't not fun. Like, I still enjoyed it, and you didn't know going in if this was designed to further the Inner Circle story or not, which is good. You didn't know which storyline it was going to further. It did end up being their deal, and that's.
I like the claim stepping on the pyro though.
Yeah. Wow. Bold.
Just, do you know, I think Jericho tried his best to hide it, but
yeah, and it got some people over that didn't blow their spots.
But when Acclaim they were coming to the ring during his pyro, and you also just Inner Circle just walked to the side and let it happen, and he was watching them, and I imagine like that was probably his idea, and he's watching it the whole time, thinking, "I'm getting these guys over right now."
Yeah, and look, when Santana and Ortiz leave the Inner Circle, maybe the Acclaimed will come in.
Yeah. You know what I also liked? One of the first of all, Private Party are wearing shirts.
Yeah.
And then for the reason. But also they had this spot, which is the same thing that Montez Ford was doing for a minute. It's a thing you do at Indies when you're just trying to get the pop in the moment. Like they make a high-pitched squeal.
Yeah.
Like when they're about to miss a spot or about to get kicked. And it's funny, but also like it doesn't make you look like a badass. So they cut it out when they were trying to get over as faces, and Montez Ford also cut it out. But now that they're beginning to be chicken shit heels,
they're bringing that back, huh?
Brought it back when he went to do a dive onto everyone, and then just Moses the water.
And everyone just moves. It's like the wrestling equivalent of the Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
But my favorite one of those ever was the Sonny Kiss one. And Sonny did it in Lucha Underground, I think in a dark match and maybe once on TV. And they were like, no, don't do that. But literally Sonny would go, ah! On like when he would get kicked in the chest, he would do that. It was so classic and so over the top, but so Sonny. Like, and they were just like, no, that's gonna not get you over. That's not gonna work for us. And even like in Lucha Underground, people were like, what you talking about, Willis?
No, like
I would never trust anybody's opinion on what's going to get you over from people who decided to book Jack Swagger the way they did. So
hey, look, they may have got it wrong with Jack Swagger in that season, but they did not get it wrong with Exolicious.
True, yeah.
They got Exo over so fast and so easy. It worked. That was the right crowd for it. Pimpinella having been there before, even though Sonny's not an Exotico, that crowd was ready for that gimmick at that time. And honestly, if Sonny was still there and Lucha Underground was still going, Sonny would be so much more over now than he'll ever be in AEW. He's never going to get a fair shake in AEW. Like, as much as they are pro LGBTQ over there, half the crowd is into hoss fights and cowboys and in Southern wrestling.
NASCAR. Just say NASCAR, Justin.
Yes.
Also, AEW is NASCAR. People.
I love Sonny and Joey Janela as individuals and as a team. And when they put them together, I thought it was just brilliant. And I thought that they should be doing more of those vignettes. And that's going to get them over. But
they're too low a priority for anybody right now.
Yeah, Joey Janela, and I don't blame them for considering all the independent stuff that he's doing. Like, and he's already like had a match fall through because of COVID exposure. Like, you can't.
They're gonna have to wait. They're gonna have to wait to be chosen, and that's just the simple fact of the matter. Somebody's gonna have to choose to do a program with them. They're basically just sitting around for that, and
that's why Darby is doing the TNT title match with Joey. Darby picked him.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a bit more than kayfabe. I'm sure, like in real life, he picked him because they both came from the Indies.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But
that's also not a program. That's a match. That's not a program.
Yeah, and that's how we got the. But that's also how he got the. I think it's more than a program. It's like how he's going to get matches in general on Dynamite. Because whatever, maybe they don't want to say Joey stop doing GCW and all these other shows, but it's a liability.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, it's part of the issue of why you're going to get cool talent in AEW, because they can still do stuff like that, but also it's a hindrance. If you're not focused on AEW, why should AEW be focused on you?
Yeah. And we also need to remember the lessons of WCW.
Yeah, really. And there's a few of those things going tragically awry right now, in my opinion. But anyway, Team Taz in the parking lot talked some smack on Stink and Darby.
The greatest wrestler of all time.
Stink is not the man he used to be. Yes, he is. Stink is exactly the man he used to be. I don't buy that at all from Taz, because you know what? He still sucks now just as much as he sucked back then.
You're so jealous. Do you wish that you could pull off face paint like that?
Oh, yeah. Like when he had that all-American face paint and the flat top haircut and looked like a reject from a Street Fighter game.
With the rat tail,
Christian Kidnap movie.
Do you know how much he was probably crushing at the time?
Have you seen that? The one where they all meet in a diner. That's what you call them. Place where people eat. And they meet in a diner, and I think someone's holding them hostage or something, and Sting is there, and Sting's like either Jesus or God or something, and he's like talking to them about it. And
what in the hell?
Something in the light. I can't remember. There's an advert for it on YouTube. It's hilarious.
Meef, are you drunk?
No, it's true. Because it stings. So I was like, oh, what's this about?
Well, we lost Justin. Your story was that bad.
Wait, are you guys done saying good things about Stink?
He wasn't.
I was saying bad things technically.
True.
I was saying you were jealous of that though.
Have you seen Sting on Thunder in Paradise, the Hulk Hogan show, where it's like he brings Sting on and he's like, all right, dude, on my show, you're going to be the heel that puts me over.
Yeah.
They're like ultra babyface. Whatever.
What a TV show.
I know, right? We have a boat and it's fast.
Are we done talking about Stink and Hogan?
We're talking about the boat. We solve crime with the boat.
It's because I mentioned WCW. Now we're just reliving WCW.
Anyway, let me move on to Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker. I got to tell you why I love this. Because it was a house fight.
Why is she not a candlestick maker?
Oh, Britt Baker, the candlestick maker? No, thank you. Anyway, look, it was a grimy hoss fight to start. How more brilliant can you get? You're not expecting to see a grimy hoss fight from two attractive women. But that was a great way to start it. And I thought the whole thing continued that way. Tons of counter moves, lots of scientific mat wrestling. What? Who expected that? Did anybody expect that out of those two? Look, I love Thunder Rosa, and I have nothing but good things to say about Britt Baker. I still was not expecting scientific mat wrestling, chain wrestling out of this match.
That makes sense why there was so much more of that in Britt's, at least her dark matches. Maybe they were practicing.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it paid off. I like where it went. Thunder Rosa had a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction. Don't get excited. It wasn't like that. She was lying down on the ground and the ref helped her retie her top. There was nothing to see there, but she did have an actual wardrobe malfunction, not a tongue-in-cheek slip. Like her wardrobe was coming off and then she had to put it back on in the middle of the match. I loved it. And the match. I love the match.
Timed.
That's Casey's supposed to be the only one that picks up on those. Anyway, the dirty win for Britt, I thought as much as I wanted Thunder Rosa to win, this was the correct scenario. Yeah. I don't want to admit it. I don't want to say it's okay that Thunder Rosa lost because damn it, it's not. But that was the way to do it. Exposed turnbuckle, totally old school. Like so much about this felt like really good. I don't know, like late Attitude Era stuff. I don't know. It felt like a good Shawn Michaels match or something. Am I crazy? They do exist.
But also, like when you have a quality program and you have a big quality match with a good quality finish, both of them get over, and then they could go on to the next thing without having to do a long program and then having the face get blown up.
But this is also the
3 count, and then
this is also the only way to, I think, keep this feud going the right way. I think Britt had to win right here. I think Britt is the one that they need at AEW. She's there every week. She's not in and out and doing other stuff. I think that Thunder Rosa has proven she will always have a spot there, and they can bring her in and out as they need for a hot program. And that's exactly, I think, what she wants to be and exactly what she offers them. And I think that she's going to get a lot more work out of it. And I think that they can keep this thing with her and Britt going for a long time, which we said like 6-7 episodes ago was it could be the feud of the year if they do it right.
Yeah.
And so this had to be the finish. Mel got dirtied and she went out cold, and the way she sold it was great too. And I think it pissed the fans off. And I think that's exactly what you want. The money's in the chase. If you want Thunder Rosa to get over at AEW, she has to be chasing something. If she gets the win right now, what's she chasing? Another title match that she already lost? There's no chase there.
Yeah.
You want her to do this. You want Britt to have the title down the line, and then Thunder Rosa to be chasing her then and trying to get back at her for this moment. I think that is the right call. Big Money Matt and Hangman Page versus Chaos Project.
They're such great friends.
I like it. Look, it continues the story perfectly. It totally worked for me. I'll tell you what didn't work for me. The wedding of Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford.
Yeah,
I like James Mitchell being out there.
Yeah,
I can say that much.
Was he the priest?
Yeah, he was the priest. And
oh my god, I'm
doing
just for that.
Dirty double entendres in the middle of it, and just totally being James Mitchell without shooting fireballs from his hand. He's still totally doing the Sinister Minister. It was great. That was the best part of that. Vicky Guerrero, it was involved because why not? I don't know. What else are you doing with her? Jerry Lynn gives the bride away because there's no real booking committee. So what else is he going to do? Except
you're working like a bubble,
Look, the smashing the box thing, all of this has been done in WWE. Every part of this, Orange Cassidy being inside the cake, the red herring of the big empty box. Didn't Jericho do all this during his Best Friends run?
Who was in a box and hid? Sting.
Yay, great. You're trying to sell me the storyline more, or you're trying to reiterate
melting the face paint off of it. It was so funny. Even he laughs about it.
I mean, I get that we needed to get to this moment and get through this moment, but
yeah,
I hope that nobody at AEW was thinking that they were doing something when they did this. We haven't seen one of these work in a long time.
I appreciated it for what it was. I think they got married for real during it. And so they wanted to make it pretty legit.
Please tell me James Mitchell's a real priest.
Anyone can get ordained. But also, he's been a minister.
I know. It's America, so, you're obsessed with this whole...
So, but I do like the... I mean, I feel that it looked better on paper, and everything after the wedding was clunky.
Yeah.
I do like Miro's taking the whole thing over with his PTSD. This is a great wedding. No one's going to mess it up. And then looks at a box or what? No, it's, he's totally acting. I get that. But
I know, but remember what we said a few weeks back? Miro is genuinely a funny guy when he's being subtle. Yeah. When he's getting in his subtle digs, when he's still being this giant Bulgarian brute, but then you realize that he's 10 times smarter than the dumb character he's playing. But now he's trying to be the smart character, and it doesn't work. Luchasaurus is doing a better version of Miro than Miro is doing.
I don't know about that.
That's not good
but
news.
I like the dig. Yeah, some of it was kind of forced, and he kept saying it's my wedding when it was Kip's. It was a lot. It was clunky, and I feel like they probably could. It feels like they didn't rehearse it, But also, I did enjoy the bit with the champagne when he's like, Charles, you're working. I'm going to have yours. You're working too many.
That was a good line
on a TV show.
But I even thought he could have thrown that away more and just made it But
here's another thing. The big picture is the Charles as a butler got wasted. 2, if you're not a fucking idiot, then you do the contract until the day after the wedding.
Right.
Because they got married. Now he can fight. Now they're in a ring with a guy who can fight them. But you overlooked it because you're a big dumb idiot.
I don't know.
Don't read your contracts.
The whole thing had holes in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to move off it. I'm going to hit Eddie Kingston, Lance Archer. Look, Eddie Kingston, we say it every week. Fun, entertaining stuff. No problem with that. But Jesus, in this lumberjack match, Lance Archer blew up.
Yeah.
Who knew? I was not expecting that. He still got off the crucifix blackout slam thing at the end or whatever he does or calls it. But his left knee does not look good right now. He blew up. Like I'm looking for more out of Lance Archer than this, and I think a lot of people are.
Yeah. I mean, I like Archer, and he showed some great intensity in New Japan and in AEW, and also when he was teaming with Davey Boy Jr. and he was doing like a Stan Hansen or something Gaijin sort of gimmick in Japan where he's just spitting water and chasing down the Japanese fans. You know, that's all great, but I kind of feel like with his size and with his moveset and with his presentation, like he could tighten up the diet and the workouts. Like he's a big guy, but like
maybe I don't know if that's what it needs or what he needs. Like, look, he's got a decent look. The gimmick isn't bad. The stuff with him and Jake works. When he was cutting those promos in the alley and everything, that was good. So like he's got some promo skills. I don't know if this is a matter of AEW just not knowing what to do with the guy or how to do it. But yeah, he shouldn't be blowing up in that match. When you have a match with 18 other guys standing around the ring, just because you're getting in and out of the ring 20 times, you shouldn't be blowing up. Like you got to fix something about that. And if going in and out of the ring that many times in a lumberjack match is jacking up your knee, you might need to seek some medical advice too, because
he did that huge dive. Maybe that was what.
Maybe. Yeah. There was and look, there were some good spots in there too, but just, I was expecting a little better and more from Lance Archer. All right. So let's talk about
what was Jake the Snake spot in that.
I don't remember.
He didn't DDT anyone, but he did something. And then afterwards he patted him. He's like, that was fun, kid.
Yeah. Like, hey, thanks for letting me in here for a minute. Anyway, I want to move on to one of the most important moments in wrestling this week. In a week packed full of super impactful, awesome stuff in wrestling. This 6-man tag with the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega versus Pac, Fenix, and Mox. It started off where I thought it was going to go the whole time. It was just like, it's a six-man match with a bunch of big names for AEW. Until the hot tag to Fenix. There was a hot tag to Fenix in this thing after this match was just kind of, whatever. And then Fenix went off. And then everybody took their game up to the level where Fenix was. And
this guy's showing us up.
Dude, yes, absolutely what happened, man. You could see it, especially in Omega. Like Omega was smiling and trying to hide it and do the scowl thing, but he was looking at Fenix, and every moment those two were in there together was fire. And then Pac started getting fired up because he saw Kenny getting fired up. I mean, the Good Brothers started not worrying about their knees and going nuts. Like everybody started going off. Moxley started looking good. Moxley had a bigger spring in his step, was running the ropes faster than I've seen him run the ropes in ages since the last Shield reunion. Like, I don't know, man. Everybody kicked it up a notch. And then if you haven't seen Fenix recently, this dive that he's doing through the ropes and going through the barricade now, he's got it timed out perfectly. He's going to keep doing it. It is amazing. He goes almost all the way into the first row. He's hitting it perfectly every time.
The gimmick is it's not perfectly every time because he didn't get it.
This is the Maricela Pena kill.
What he wants to do is he wants to do the flippy topi thing. Sorry, and then end up sitting on the railing afterwards.
Yeah, I mean it is a full speed flip into the railing. It doesn't matter if the other guy is there or not. He's got it timed out perfectly where his legs are on top of the railing. He goes butt first at 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's like, KO's Cannonball on crack. It's like,
how
about his springboard, or what's the name of it when you go off the second rope? That one, headbutt. That he started doing.
Oh, the big dive.
Yeah,
awesome. He gets so high, but when he comes down, he goes slow, doesn't he? It's amazing.
But like he's going to the ropes, and then he springboards back. Yeah, then he just
like when they did the cutter.
And then he goes up, and then it's like slow motion, and then boom, just headbutt you, and it's just one of the most beautiful things.
Yeah. I'll tell you what was good here too, that a lot of people may disagree with me on, is I liked Fenix being the one to do the job here and to do it to the Good Brothers. I think that is the highlight you want out of this. And if you use it correctly, you can build Fenix more by him being the guy to put them over here. Yeah. I like that. It shows that that beating him was the important thing. that he is the guy that you needed to take out. In my opinion, that was great.
And
then you get the Archer run-in, which obviously, look, they are counting on Archer. We just said that before, and it was kind of funny to me after just seeing this match where I felt very lackluster about him, that he's the guy that gets the run-in here. So they're kind of elevating him into the big program now. And then, of course, the run-in after the run-in that blew my friggin' mind.
Oh, I yelled.
Yeah, Kenta. Moxley's hovering over Omega. Kenta sneaks in, go to sleep club, baby. And that just, it blew my mind. Was not expecting it. Didn't see it coming. Thought it was perfect. What's that?
The forbidden door has been blown open.
Yeah. Like, you know, and look, they're sending Mox over. They're doing the right thing with Mox. They're letting him get the rub over New Japan. Like, if this can keep happening, if we can keep getting crossovers with Impact, and if we can actually open the door between AEW and New Japan instead of Ring of Honor, oh my God. That would be, that's what needs to happen.
Yourself.
Well,
look over there having
boom
problems.
I said boom.
You're grumbling.
The crossover with Ring of Honor worked great at a certain point in time, and it made perfect sense. But it quickly became everybody who was in Ring of Honor when they were in New Japan had relevance, and when they were in Ring of Honor had no relevance.
Yeah. So after the show,
has no relevance.
After the show, they did the thing where Kenny is one of the cameras is following Kenny, one of the social media stooges. I love.
Which is great.
But one of the social media stooges was following Kenny out, and Kenny goes up to Kenta. He's like, "Hey, bud, we're great friends. I didn't know you were here. We're great friends." Blah blah. And Kenta goes, "Shut the fuck up. You're not my fucking friend," and like walks away.
And then Kenny still puts him in a match. That's the best part. Like,
well, I'll fix that. Let's have a match.
But those are the Kenny promos I like. When Kenny tries to come to the ring and be the tough guy. No, but Kenny it got Kenny over in two ways. A, because yes, you believe that Kenny is bad enough that he's going to still get him in the match with him. So he still has his credibility, but also he's better being a little bit funny and a little slimy and sleazy. Like him just being the tough guy that comes to the ring. There's enough of that in wrestling. Let Kenny have this other character where he's, a little bit softer and funnier, but still the man.
I do want to throw the social media stooge on the wall of shame for this thing, though, because here's the thing. As a camera person,
focus issues.
As a camera person, what's changing in this segment? Nothing. You're in the same backstage area. Yeah. All the lighting is going to be the same, and no one is going to be more than 3 to 4 feet away, and you shouldn't be shooting with a shallow depth of field. All right, correct. So you're not using autofocus. If you want to use auto iris, fine. If you're not good enough to shoot on live TV or on TV without auto iris,
but fine. You can't. But when you have the shallow background, you cannot use the autofocus. And oh my God, Impact deserves a slap in the face for this. They have top guys out of focus, and the wall with the video production company's logo in the background is in focus. Like, you want to talk about an ad for your business that is not good? That's terrible. You put a top guy like Tommy Dreamer or Ken Shamrock out of focus for the entire promo, and then you put it on TV too, and you don't recut it? Oh my God.
It's embarrassing. Not even throw a filter on it to try to sort of cheat fix it. But like this one, when Kenta hit his line, he was unacceptably out of focus. Why? Yeah. Like, it wasn't like he moved or anything. He was in focus the whole time until then. Like, the autofocus knocked it out, and the white balance is so bad. So when Kenny is talking to the camera, you look at his skin tone, and he's a little reddish because he's a pink white boy who just wrestled and blah blah blah. And he's a little bit flushed. Then he turns into someone who ate too much of catering, and now is turning green.
I like that.
Like, why?
I can't believe Byron's got through this AEW thing without going on about Ito.
Maki Ito-chan, respect on me. The whole. I don't care about the Dusty Rhodes, rest in peace. He's a legend. I love him forever. But I don't care about the women's Dusty Tag Tournament thing. Where the money is going to be at is the AEW Women's Tournament, when they finally bring in all the Japanese talent that they know, because they're going to be They're going to be good to very good, but they're also going to be unique new acts, which is going to be fresh wrestling for us in America. Also, they brought in some great ones. They brought in probably the best one, Maki Ito. If you don't know who she is, just go to YouTube, go to Twitter. She's been working a great program with Thunder Rosa. They have a great promo where Thunder was challenging for the Tokyo Joshi Japan Pro.
Tokyo Joshi Pro
Title that Maki was holding. And she goes, I think you are a poo-poo champ. And then, right, Thunder said that, which is fucking fighting words. And then Maki goes, what? I'm Japanese. What? like, I don't understand what you're saying. But then
amazing.
It's great. Then Thunder actually spoke in Japanese, and it was great. And they had a great match afterwards.
How many languages does Mel know? Jesus. She spent some time in Japan, though. Anyway.
That's what I'm saying. But Mel won the belt, then gave it up because she couldn't travel back to Japan. Maki Ito is the best. We all are a part of the Ito-chan Respect.
Has she been wrestling Chris Brooks?
She wrestles with him, yeah.
Yeah.
But she also has a big feud with Aja Kong and a bunch of other ones, and she's just fantastic. Her signature move is a headbutt and the middle finger.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I wish that I could be looking forward to Phoenix getting his hands on Kenta, but that is not the way that is going down next week, sadly.
Yeah.
Especially after how hot Phoenix was in that match. But we'll see what they put him in next week. The simple fact of the matter is, for the week in current wrestling, I am actually excited. I think they're building storylines. I think I actually want to see where things go in almost every single promotion. I think right now, honestly, Raw might be lacking the most. I thought Damian Priest had a decent match this week. I'm interested to see what they do with him. But that's about it. Like, I don't feel like there's any hot programs going in Raw right now, but everywhere else, absolutely. There's fun stuff going on in Impact. There's fun stuff going on in AEW. There's fun stuff going on in NXT, SmackDown, pretty much across the board in wrestling. All right, here's what I want to do. We have reached the penultimate Lucha episode of Lucha Underground, so I want to come back and talk about it right after this.
If you're listening to this and you haven't visited luchacentral.com, it's time to do it. LuchaCentral.com is the online home for Lucha Libre, where you can get all of the top news in English and in Spanish. Find the best curated video content and original content not seen anywhere else. Find when Lucha Libre events would be happening in your area. Find photo galleries from top photographers covering Lucha Libre around the world. From weekly polls to annual awards. Seen and read by top executives in all of the major Lucha Libre promotions across the globe. And on top of that, it's free. LuchaCentral.com, your centralized place for all things Lucha Libre.
Byron doesn't want me to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway.
You can do it every single time. I'm going to cut it back.
And we're back. Can I do it like that?
I thought it was like Finn Balor's entrance then.
Look, the Cross episode finally ended, and now it's El Hijo del Fantasma, also known as Santos Escobar.
I got to be honest with you guys. I have a couple of Hijo del Santos's masks in my living room from his NXT debuts. Like, one of them was the one he wore when he headbutted Drake Maverick, and yeah.
Do we want to have a competition?
It's pretty cool.
I don't think we want to have a competition, Leaf. We know that you would win. But that was really fun having him on. This was literally when he had nowhere to go, nothing to do.
This was looking the day AAA said, good luck, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he's looking at us like, hey, guys, what should I do? Like, fuck them, we know. I don't know. Go work at the morgue? What?
No, what we said was...
I can tell you privately, but I can't say it on TV.
No, I mean, we told him that that WWE might not be as far out of his grasp as possible, and that there was certainly interest in him on the indies, and look what happened. I think he made the right calls, and I think, talking to us out loud a little bit about his future, I think helped a little bit.
Yeah.
And considering what's gone on with the world, him and Kross both signing for WWE the time they did, worked out fantastically
It
well.
was amazing. Amazing. Anyway, I do want to talk about Lucha Underground Season 1, Episode 37. Oh my gosh. Penultima Lucha. This is the... Okay. So for people who don't understand how Lucha Underground was taped, this basically was Ultima Lucha. This was Ultima Lucha weekend. This was the first part of the taping. So the crowd is hyped. People are packed in. It is oversold, overbooked. There's VIPs. There's regular people. All the people that you know and love from the Lucha Underground crowd have fortunately gotten in. People were up early in line. Byron gets to sit on the front row for the first time, as do Urban and J-Man, making their first appearance on an episode, I believe, sitting front row. They flew in for this.
Yeah.
They were VIPs as well. Jimmy Velasco is right next to them, which is a little bit of the catalyst for us being in good with Jimmy, because I think I met Jimmy through Urban, maybe? I don't even know. I mean, I know you guys know him already, but I think the first time I ever had any real interaction with Jimmy was, I think, actually through Urban somehow. Anyway, doesn't matter. This was basically the start of Ultima Lucha, even though it isn't televised that way. And there's some interesting things about this that really became part of the folklore and excitement and the mystery of Lucha Underground and why it became such a beloved product these days. I was not there, by the way. I was not at this Ultima Lucha.
My friend Scott was there in your place.
Yes.
He helped down the court.
I had to work. I could not fly back. I did not think I would be able to get in anyway because I wasn't on anyone's list. Little did I know.
They were very hard to get tickets back then.
Yes.
It was very hard.
Very, very hard. And this was also, again, the first time that half of the place was booked out to VIP clients coming in from the networks or from Mexico or from wherever. So you had some lames in the audience as well. But the majority of the people that you know and love and think of as the Lucha Underground real true believers were in attendance. Anyway, you get some vignettes that are really setting up where they're going with the Gift of the Gods belt, which had not been revealed yet. And I will say is the most mind-blowing part of this particular episode. That belt and the reveal of that belt is huge for the overall story of Lucha Underground. That, like, it blew people's minds. The magnet medallions going into it. This is the stuff that Evie Dub and DJ especially deserve huge credit for. You know, Van Wagenen and Roach, or Roach and DeJoseph coming up with the idea of doing a belt like this, just because it gives them the possibilities of so many things. You can have matches with the medallions. You can have a tournament for the belt. This was them thinking outside the box. Like, how do you take something like a Royal Rumble or Money in the Bank or any of those kind of moments and put them into this world and still make them fun and get a chance to create new matches and new ideas? Give those guys all the credit in the world for this. And Evie Dub for saying, sure, we'll go out and make probably one of the most expensive belts in wrestling history, other than than the original spinner belt. The original spinner
was
belt,
it $7,000?
I know how much. I
think the official price on doing the real Gift of the Gods belt the right way with the magnet medallions is like $7 or $8 And I think the spinner, the original WWE spinner belt was what? 17, 18 grand. Because it had like a 3 or 4 like real diamonds on it.
The trios cost $2,800. The championship was $3,500, and the Gift of the Gods was $6,500, and it was heavy as F.
Yeah, I think like I said, the spinner belt is still the most expensive one ever, but I don't know if it, like, the original one had a bunch of diamonds in it or what the hell.
These don't have crystals or anything in them, so that kind of helps lower the cost. But still, the labor and the
and the magnets and the craftsmanship and the fact that underneath each magnet there's Lucha Libre symbols and stuff in there. Yes, of course you can. It's a show where you say things.
By the way, when they showed the close-ups of them putting the medallions on, so like they're there and then the magnet sucks it into the thing, And on very, very on brand, Juggalo Vampiro is amazed at how magnets work.
Or how they don't work, because most people didn't even get them seated all the way in.
Yeah.
But
also,
whatever.
like I think they would hard fasten them or something if it was just the prop belt, not they weren't going in and out.
Right.
But before they figured that out, like they would like holding it and during action, like they would fall
off.
Like, almost
yeah, especially when the one right next to the middle on the top, when people were holding it this way, you bend the belt and it would pop out.
Yeah.
So that one was falling in and out a lot. But anyway, it's still a great idea and awesome that they pulled it off. Quickly, I'll go through some of the stuff from the episode. Mundo versus Tejano, I found to be ridiculous as being the opening match. I don't know what dark matches you guys saw that day, but this at that time would have been a huge headlining match in AAA.
Yeah.
Anywhere in Mexico. And this was kind of a throwaway, just opener match. Like, more power to them. These guys were stars, but Mundo and Tejano, what a great fight to just have be kind of thrown in there.
They made a comment like, "Oh, this is actually the first time they've fought." But I mean, my impression on this episode, even though it was Ultima Lucha weekend, so like this might have been the top of a day, and then Ultima Lucha 1 would have been the second half of the day. So it's like the same crowd, same show you're showing up for.
It was,
but the card, aside from Gift of the Gods, was very much a go home show to me.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be, and that makes sense, which is fine because they had the belt there, and I think that the belt saves it. And then having this match, this was a good match. But it got the crowd pumped, and everybody was into it. Like, it didn't come off bad on TV. It seemed like it was great. You get the finish with the crew doing a run-in on Tejano, a DQ for Mundo, then an ADR run-in for the save, which is all obvious stuff, setting up the bigger match. And it is what it is. Then you get a second vignette with Dario explaining the Believer's backlash to Hernandez and what he's going to put in there. And we absolutely will not discuss the Believer's backlash without Casey here.
Right.
I know Casey couldn't make it this week from technical stuff, but hopefully he'll make it next week. Though my schedule is going to be kind of jacked, but we'll see. I think I might be all right.
By the way, I guess now isn't the time to talk about what we're going to do on our birthday weekends.
No, not yet. We'll get there next week. Anyway, so you got this Mac versus Cage. Wow. This was a swerve to everyone in the fact that Willie Mack gets like a 3-second cool sunset flip from the corner pin on Brian Cage. We've talked about it before of the building up and destruction of Cage, and I get it, and it makes perfect sense here. And I love that Willie Mack gets this finish, but this was an actual holy shit moment of like, oh my God, Willie Mack just did that to you? Holy crap.
That's a sad thing about Cage. It's like he's such a perfect villain for Hogan to face, one of those guys.
Right.
But like, he's so good at that. A lot of people don't see beyond it to where, what if he was the champ being fed?
Right. I get it. And look, it set up the match. They brawl all over the ring, which sets up their falls count anywhere, whatever match
which is going to be a great one.
Yeah. They knocked out some security guards, which I liked. It was like, except for the fact that, Lucha Underground never has security around, and then all of a sudden they do.
They had fucking leg holstered fucking anti-terrorist cops there, making sure that we all had hand stamps. You know what I mean?
Right, but then they bring in these schmucks. Why couldn't they dress them up like those security guards? You know how much more over that would have gotten if they actually dressed up like Waffle House?
Fucking Mac just makes a reach for one of their guns.
Well, they don't have to go that far. Not that I would put it past Chris Roach even for a second. Be his
point
anti-gun statement. By the way, if you guys don't follow Chris Roach and Krista Joseph on Twitter, please do, because it is the most hilarious juxtaposition of different American ideas that you could possibly have. Chris Roach is like uber liberal, and Krista Joseph is like some weird libertarian conservative, and they're both like posting weird stuff all the time, and they're like the best friends in the world, but the joke just cracks me up.
Well,
my God.
You need like a strong, you need something to create that strong bond and connection that they have. And having, been writing on Lucha Underground together and even especially the last 4 years, how divided we are over, like, if you don't like this guy,
right,
then I hate you because I hate that guy, but they're both just, I think, and I don't want to offend anyone, but I think they're both equally psychotic.
Oh, completely. And I don't think that's offensive to say it. I love those guys dearly, and I think that they both are pretty far out there with some of their stuff.
And I'm totally with Roach on that.
And Meef, I love you too, but I think you're pretty far out with most of your stuff as well. I'm not afraid to say it. You're crazy people, Meef.
Meef is so liberal that he has a naked black man behind him during this podcast.
I know. That's really taking BLM to a whole nother level, brother. Anyway, let me move on before I really piss somebody off.
No, Black Love Matters. That's what it is.
Black Love Matters. You're right, Meatloaf. It sure does. I bet you love it. Anyway, they battle all over. Dario
show after hours
does this thing. So currently, medallion holders. Somehow we've stripped Fenix of his medallion, even though it doesn't seem like he's been gone that long, and we haven't stripped him before this, and he won one fair and square, but then he didn't show up for a weekend, so somehow he's been stripped of his medallion now. But anyway, Dario calls out all the medallion holders. You got Jack Evans, Aerostar, Cuerno, Sexy Star, Big Rick, and Bengala. And now Fenix is going to have to be in a battle royal tonight to win back his medallion with some other people. But here we go. This is where I love DJ. This isn't going to be a regular battle royal. It's a battle royal until you get to the last two, and then it turns into a match. Love that idea. Love that concept. It's great. So that battle royal ends up being with Ricky Mandel, Argenis, Killshot, Famous B, Marty the Moth, Masquerade Sagrada, Superfly, and Daivari, and of course Fenix. No surprise that Famous B gets his shit in right off the bat and then gets eliminated. Or no, gets to eliminate. He gets to eliminate Mandel and Argenis. Why?
He got his Triple H spot in.
Yeah, but why does he get to get those guys out? Because they have another match coming up in the same day, like an hour later. Because they're also the disciples. I know that Casey would get mad at me about the kayfabe thing, but they got eliminated first because they, I think, might be the only people in history to actually get to wrestle twice in the same day on Ultima Lucha.
Oh. Or like same match or same episode? Because some of them would do
same day.
3 matches on the same day.
Okay, yeah, so maybe. But yeah, well, yeah, because I guess it's different episodes. But yeah, as different characters, though, which is pretty awesome for them.
Yeah, that's cool.
But anyway, that was fun. The other thing that people don't realize is this match being here actually started a tradition that you don't get to see in other Ultima Luchas, which is the Battle Royal, where everybody on the roster gets to participate.
Yeah.
With season 4 being the most tragically bizarre, fucked up one of them all.
Yeah.
But this kind of started it off, and thank God for this match in follow-up years, because it meant that Vinny Massaro was in Ultima Lucha, and his lady could typically never make it down, so I got his VIP passes for subsequent years for Ultima Lucha.
I love it because like every time we'd be ringside and Vinny would get tossed out pretty quickly and he'd be like, no! And then afterwards he'd be like, that's a quick paycheck.
I know. Vinny was like, I got paid. I'm here. I got y'all in the VIP. What's up? And yes, for the record, people were like, you guys are Lucha Underground shows and blah, blah, blah. No, we're Vinny Massaro's shows. He's the one that got me the free beers and food on Ultima Lucha weekends, which is nice because it's a long, long day, and getting VIP and not having to show up at like 4 a.m. makes it much better.
I was show for Lucha Underground. It was a lot of fun.
I feel bad.
Yeah.
Because Van Wagenen got me VIP and then I didn't fly.
You should have done it, man.
No showed him.
Should have done it. Anyway, so what was I going to say? Oh, Killshot looked good in this too, but Daivari eliminated him. Vinny throwing some stiff shots as he does, but Daivari gets him too. And then Masquerita monkey flip Superfly on the apron, and they both get eliminated. because why were they there?
No, I know.
That's fun. Like, who goes for a monkey flip there? But I don't know if it was on purpose or if it was just a genius spot to where, like, oh no, he thought he would still land on the apron flat, and he didn't.
Eventually, let's see. Marty eliminated Famous B, and then Fenix gets to throw out Daivari, and then we finally get down to what is a very interesting match that I thought was a great way to finish this off. Fenix versus Marty the Moth.
Yeah.
I thought this gave Marty the rub as like, hey, he's not a scrub like these other guys. This kind of was the moment that elevated him past like jobber status, even though he's still doing the job to Fenix here. Yeah. He looked good. Marty giving the fake dive thing and then giving the crowd the finger. That was the moment where the crowd was like, oh, you're a heel here now, and we love it. Because it showed that he understood the Lucha Libre traditions, that he wasn't going to insult the Lucha Libre traditions by trying to do them when he had no business doing them, and that he was a good heel that knew how to play the crowd. Like, it was the perfect
Aztec Pride.
Yeah, it was the perfect heel moment to go along with his Aztec Pride shirt and this, that, and the other thing. But I thought it was really done. I don't understand what that weird Hurricane Rana type thing was for the pin, but whatever.
See, there were a couple pins, like roll-up pins on this show that were a little bit clunky.
Yeah, but look,
whatever.
I mean, they've had problems with this in the past too, where they're trying to get a lot of storytelling done on the Ultima Lucha weekend. You know, this is 2 days of taping that turns into, 3 or 4 episodes, but everyone's also got to protect themselves for their big match in the final show. So, Fenix has got more work to do. So you've already put him in a battle royal, now a one-on-one match. You don't want to take it too far, obviously. You still want Marty to look good because you need that character to start growing and get some strength out of this whole thing. So I get it, but here you have Fenix now in the final spot, re-earning his final spot in the Gift of the Gods tournament for that awesome new strap. And then, Mill and Katrina arrive. Mill, full suit, baby.
Yeah.
His shoes weren't quite as nice as Kross's shoes on NXT this week, but they were pretty dope.
See, that it's just there was a lot of trouble at the temple. When Mill would come out in suits because there was just so many unplanned pregnancies.
Oh,
in the crowd.
Instantly with the look. It was amazing.
Just like the Tejano section all brought signs, so you need to watch your step around them during Tejano matches.
Oh, yeah. It would get slippery. The floor would be slippery when wet. But the cool thing about this is he actually worked in the suit, too. I mean, he went out there. He ran the ropes. He did not care. And he didn't bust a button or anything. Ricky Banderas, badass.
Yeah, he's dope. I love it. Listen, man, we know what happens. And it's awesome.
What? Puma's going to speak for the first time and doesn't. That's what happens. That was the best. That was the funniest joke. It was funnier than the bull. All the inside jokes at Lucha Underground. The funniest thing was they set this whole moment up to be the bull
that they showed in the first segment of this show.
Yeah. They set this whole segment up to be Puma speaks for the first time. They advertise it that way. They build it that way. He comes out. He looks at the crowd. He grabs the stick. Mill walks out, and he doesn't even get fully interrupted. There's not a run-in. He just throws the mic down and stares down Mill and Katrina. It's amazing. It was like he knew better.
I love it. But also, it's just so funny because we're seeing him get promo cucked the whole season. And then we're like, oh, he's going to cut a promo now. And you're like, he could
have gone into business for himself right there if he wanted, and they could have cut it out.
They would have cut it out. But he didn't. We know that. But if he had balls, he would have. Anyway.
He did later.
But I think it's amazing that he wanted to talk and he wanted to show his face. He did. Like, right. Ricochet really wanted to. And it's like, this reminds me of that season of Dexter after Dexter and his sister got divorced in real life. So then the next season, she falls in love with him, even though they're brother and sister. And you're like, the real life dynamic going on.
Like we all know. Stop it. It's weird.
You're just fucking with them.
We're sorry that you cast her as a sister in the first place. Stop making this creepy and weird for the rest of us. Not our fault.
They're like, Ricochet wants to talk, so he's going to talk. And then they're like, when Ricochet gets the point, the guy who wants to talk has to pretend, I don't want to talk right now.
It was fun. It was a fun little moment. It got the heat that it was supposed to.
Yeah.
You know, Puma got in his 630. It's also the first time you see the tease of Puma Dark with the black
mask.
jeans, the
And
darker
the
mask, the hoodie, which, you know, they made actually a part of his gimmick later. This was kind of a test pilot, I think, because they didn't know what to do sans Conan, which was not originally the plan. But now Conan has been dead and buried. So figuring out how to move Puma past Conan.
How great though when Vampiro is recapping, he's like, I'm the one to recap this. And when he was recapping last week, we saw Conan in a coffin. And he had the smile on his face.
Oh, you know, that was
happy.
One of the highlights of that entire first season for Vamp. You know, as bummed and crazy as he probably was too, that probably rejuvenated him going into future seasons. That might have been what healed some of Vampiro's injuries.
The miraculous healing of Vampiro.
He's ready to come back.
Anyway, it was fun. And next week we get to talk about Ultima Lucha Part 1, which I believe contains the Believer's Backlash, right?
I don't know.
It'll be fun. And hopefully Casey will be here and we'll be able to have some fun reliving that very first Ultima Lucha on Mats and Mayhem, the MMM show. So until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix.
Penis.